College Football Dragons, joined by my esteemed colleague for the day. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people out in the world.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Deshawn Mitchell from Los Angeles, California. Senior mass communication major here at Lane. And man, Reggie, I'm just so excited for today. It's going to be a good one.
Hey man, I like how you threw in the Los Angeles. You shining, you shining on me already, man. You shining on me already. I am from Memphis, Tennessee, so this is actually pretty exciting for me. The Bluff City Classic here, and Lane College is so much tradition, and couldn't pick a more beautiful day to have some college football on the docket.
Yeah, we're going to have a good one today, Reggie. This is going to be a hot one, but that doesn't stop anything in football. We should see 100% effort. I'm looking to see a lot of runs today, looking to see some good defense played today. Two good coaches. We got Coach Derek Burrows out of Lane College. Stephen Smith, the head coach of Lincoln.
And you brought up a hot day. It's actually not as hot as it's been.
Yeah.
And you got to think about the players are going to be excited about today's game. We saw them on the field before warm-ups. They were breaking a good sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever play any football? I know did you play a little football in your day?
I played some football, man. I actually came here to originally play football, and I got injured. But I played high school football, played junior college football at Santa Monica College in Los Angeles. And, man, I missed the sport. But days like this, I'm 25 now, which isn't too old.
Right.
But, man, these guys are getting bigger and faster, and I'm glad I'm up here in the press box.
Yeah, I know. I went out for football one time for a summer workout in high school, and I got hit once, and I realized that the booth might be my destination for the rest of my career, so that's what I did. We're going to talk about Lane College a lot here because this is the home of the Lane Dragons, and we want to make sure that everybody listening at home gets all the information. Let's take a look at Lane here just in a glance and what happened last year with the Dragons. Started off the year with the win, ended the year in the win. In between, not so much, you know what I mean? But that's the thing that Coach Derek Burrows has been focusing on this year, and I talked to him at Media Day. It's all about preparation and focus throughout not just the year, but each game, each play, staying focused.
Yeah, and I think last year what was going on, you know, it was the identity factor of the offense. You know, we had three different quarterbacks who played the game. And anytime you have that, you're still trying to figure out your identity. So I think this season, you know, with Marcus Reynolds coming in, starting at quarterback, they're going to be rolling, Reggie. They're going to be rolling.
Yep, and last year the Dragons averaged 21.5 points per game, but they gave up 22.3. If you do that, I'm not a math major, I'm a comm major, so that should let you know right there. I'm not that good at math, but that makes a lot of sense with their record. They did excel in the rushing game, though, averaging about 188 yards per contest. So that's what you're going to be looking at this year for Lane as well, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Derek Burrows, he's going to make that adjustment this season. One thing on a positive note, defensively, they did have a lot of turnovers last season when it comes to interceptions, fumbles, and they had some blocks too. They had some field goal blocks.
Right. You brought up defensively. They forced 7 fumbles, picked off 6 passes, and blocked 4 kicks, posting a safety. So you're on top of it. We're on top of it. Dragons had 31 sacks and 98 tackles for loss. That's something you come to expect with somebody like Coach Burrows leading the team. He was a defensive mastermind when he played, also carrying it over to the coaching ranks. But the quarterback is going to be essential. Quarterback play, you brought it up earlier, it's essential. This year, starting quarterback Marcus Reynolds going to return, played 8 games last year, threw for 674 yards, and ran for another 446. So you're talking about 1,200 yards of total offense, and they're going to need more of that from their senior quarterback, Marcus Reynolds.
I expect Marcus Reynolds to actually have a breakout season this year. Marcus Reynolds is a dual quarterback. He can do everything. He can run. He can pass. He has great vision. He's going to be the guy, and he's going to be the impact player that we'll be looking forward to today.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him on the offensive side and on the defensive side. We touched on the player, the team as a whole, but one of the players to watch out for on the defensive side, I believe he is the captain this year. I interviewed him before, the starting quarterback. I'm going to get his name here in just a second, but he is somebody that Coach Burrows really wanted to keep an eye on this year.
And I don't know if we address it, but I'm looking forward to see Travis Streeter, the linebacker out of Los Angeles. He didn't get a chance to play last season, and he's back this year. And like I was telling Coach, he's itching. He's itching to get back on the field, and I'm looking forward to see him. He's actually a captain out there right now, number 9. That's Travis Streeter.
Travis Streeter, so that'll be a name we look forward to calling a lot today, hopefully. All right, the players are on the field. As a matter of fact, you pointed it out. They're meeting at the halfway mark.
Yes, sir.
50-yard line.
Yes, sir.
That's what they call it.
Right in the middle.
I was about to say center field. I got baseball on the brain. I'm a Cub fan, and they're doing pretty good this year. Forgive me. Packed house at Halle Stadium, and man, I am excited. The bands were playing earlier. I think I heard "This Is America" playing. That got me pretty turned up. Is that what the kids are saying nowadays? Can I say turned up? Can I say lit?
You can say lit. I like lit.
Is it lit?
I like lit, Reggie.
The atmosphere is very lit at Halle Stadium. We're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute break on 105.3 Fox Sports. So got it queued up in the studio. Hopefully, we're going to take a 60-second break. Come back and join us here for Lane College football. Good job. Let's work. That's right. We're back here live at Halle Stadium, Lane College football. Now, we were so excited talking about Lane College earlier, which we should be. They actually have an opponent today in the Bluff City kickoff, and that is Lincoln University. Lincoln University, based out of Missouri, Lincoln, Missouri. I've been to the campus, beautiful college, and, the Great Lakes Valley Conference. That's the GLVC is what we're looking at here. And I'm excited to see Lincoln because I think this is going to be a really good matchup between two teams. And starting off the year, a lot of adrenaline starting off.
And especially talking about the expectations, Lincoln winning 1 game last season, Lane only winning 2 games, they are going to be fighting this year for a new destiny, a new season. It's going to be a new energy, and we'll see it here today.
All right, the kicker for the Blue Tigers, that's going to be Walkie Bellancourt. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Fernando Ramirez. Walkie is the punter. But Fernando Ramirez, the kicker, 5'10", freshman out of Georgia. And there is the opening kickoff to start the season for the Lane College Dragons. Back to receive it deep. Number 17, he's going to take it. He's going to go up the field. He's going to be – no, he's not going to go down immediately. He's going to get a couple of more yards on the play. He gets to about the 16-yard line, and that's where Lane College will start their season on offense.
And that was Anthony Elverly on the return. It's a pretty good return. As long as you get it past the 20, you always, like those type of returns. Anything past the 20, coach said, we got it.
Yeah, Anthony Evelyn, a freshman. So a freshman, how does that feel? Your first play as a true freshman, taking it a couple of yards and starting the year off for the Dragons. Interesting to see what we're going to see under center from Mr. Reynolds.
And they're going to come out. A lot of Memphis natives today. A lot of Memphis natives that's playing today. Expect them to have some great energy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these guys play. They got a lot of family in the stands. All right, Reynolds out of the shotgun starting off. We got a receiver in motion coming out in our formation. Reynolds with the handoff. Not much on the play there, but not going down easily. Number 8 with the carry on the play.
And that was number 14, Siobhan Ross, the cornerback out of Miami, Florida with that stop.
Joshua Jeffrey with the run, 6 foot, 210-pound junior out of Maryland. Didn't get much on the play. Still going to be 1st and 10. He was able to get it right back to the line of scrimmage.
And it's what I expected. Lane trying to come out with a run. And I think we're going to see it again coming.
Who was the kicker for them? Number 19.
Jeffrey still in the backfield. Reynolds out of the shotgun once again. We got 3 wide for the Dragons. Trying to see what they got on the play here. We got a receiver in motion. Play action fake. The quarterback's going to keep it. Reynolds picks up about 3 or 4 yards on the play. We're looking at a third About 3rd and 10 coming up.
And what I think they're doing, Reggie, they're spreading them out and they're using the motion to see what kind of defense they're in. Usually in the motion, you can see if guys are in the man or in a zone. So we had 2 motions on 1st down and 2nd down with 2 runs. You might see it here again.
Trying to keep the defense discombobulated, keep them off what you're trying to do. And I'm excited to see Reynolds. He was very excited during media day to get things started and to take this team to new heights this year. Reynolds out of the shotgun once again. Nobody in motion this time. He gets the snap, rolls out to the left, nowhere to go. Beautiful sack there by number 7 for the Blue Tigers. That is Victor Williams, the 6-foot linebacker, senior out of Compton, California. And I see my cohort nodding his head a little bit, get a little West Coast love.
Hey, man, you know, they try to hate on us California players, man, but, you know, we're still here. We're still here.
Hey, man, what side of the fence you on now? You got the Lane College pass on.
You know, I got to support Cali, but Lane College, let's go.
California love. And that'll be 3 and out for the Dragons to start. Back to punt for the Dragons right now. We have Vicente Luan Pena. We're just going to go with Pena on that one. I feel you on that one, Josh.
Just Pena.
Shout out to my boy Josh Lemons here hooking us up with the technical aspects and the names. We're having a good time right off top, man. This is a beautiful day for football. Dragons punting out of their own end zone. Not a beautiful start. I'm pretty sure Coach Derek Burrows is not too pleased with that.
Well, you know what? Going back to that first year, like I said, we had 2 runs and a pass, and it might have been a missed block. But they're only a couple yards away from a 1st down.
Punt is up, and it's a pretty decent punt considering the field position. Fair catch is called for the Blue Tigers. They're going to take it at the 40-yard line, so great field position for the Blue Tigers as they get set to take it over on offense.
Now here's what I like to see, Reggie. The defensive lane is coming out there. I'm going to see what the Burrows is going to throw out there this first drive. He might throw some pressure. Let's see it.
All right, the Blue Dragons quarterback on the field for today is number 11. That's going to be Henry Ogula. I'm going to go with Ogula.
Yep.
Let's go with Ogula, 6'1", sophomore out of New Jersey.
Oh, an East Coast guy.
Once again, out of the shotgun, you're going to see a lot more teams with this spread offense coming out of the shotgun. Ogula hands off the ball to number 3. That is Franklin. Franklin breaks a tackle, and he picks up a big 1st down on the very first possession for the Blue Tigers. So they got some momentum going towards the end zone right now.
So he looked like on that right side, it was just honestly a simple run play to the right, and it was just a simple block from your guard and tackles just downhill, and he was able to just bust loose.
Right, that's just good blocking up front, and that's where, the wide receivers and the quarterbacks get the glitz and glamour, but down in the trenches, the big men opening up those holes for the running back, that's where you can win ball games at. Ogla, this time, once again, out of the shotgun. Receiver to his right, back to his left, hands it off to Franklin again. Franklin this time, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, picks up about 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And that was a better job by the defense this time, kind of peeling back and standing their ground. The main thing about this defense, people don't know, is gap control. If they have gap control and gap assignment, all of the runs should be stopped.
That's right, and right now, Lane, if you wouldn't want to buckle down here, judging by the field goal, don't really know what their kicker has on the Blue Tiger side, but you're trying to keep them out of the end zone. That's what you're playing in. Back in the day in the neighborhood, we called it hard 4. You don't want to give up 4 straight possessions. Next thing you know, they're in the end zone. So they're at about the 27-yard line now. Ogla, once again, out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ogla receives the snap, throws it on an out route, finds a receiver. Not much there on the play, though. Kimbo Ferguson, the running back out of the backfield, picks up probably what he gained.
And that was Kenny Williams on the tackle right there, the cornerback, the senior cornerback that's a Memphis native. And what you got right there, Reggie, it looks like a zone play that he was able to just already stay in his zone, stay in his flats, and come up and rally.
Kenneth Williams out of Overton High School. That's my alma mater. That's where I went to high school at. This was the home field for Overton for a lot of years. Kenneth Williams feeling pretty comfortable on this field, and he showed it on that play. Lining up one more time, the offense for the Blue Tigers lining up 3 wide out to the left, 1 to the right. Ogla looking for the defense, surveying, and gets the snap, drops back. He's looking down the field. He's looking at the end zone. The throw is up. It's up, and it's a little too far out in front. Incomplete pass there. That was number 84. That's who it was intended for. That was Justin Caracas Well, they got some names here from Miami, Florida. It was just a little out of his reach, but you like to see the Blue Tigers going for it, and you like to see Lane's defense stepping up.
They stepped up, and you know what? As a corner, I would like to see him a little bit closer on the receiver there as he got a little bit behind him, but the ball was just overthrown.
Just overthrown just a little bit, but not a bad spiral there by Ockley. You want to keep an eye on that if you're Coach Burrows and the defensive coordinators for the Dragons. On the field now for the Blue Tigers, set to kick the field goal. I believe that's number 19, the same one who kicked off before. That is Fernando Ramirez. This is about a 35-yard. Oh, it's up, and it's good. It's good. The Blue Tigers are on the board. I think that was about a 44-yard kick. I'm not good at adding. Told you earlier I'm not a math major. So 44-yard kick. Right. That's a professional kick there. That is a big leg for Ramirez as the Blue Tigers take a 3-0 lead early on in this game. 9:57 left to go in the first quarter of play. And I think we got to just stay here. I think we got the action. I don't think we need to take a break.
That was a good job by the defense considering the field position. At least they was able to hold them to 3. You know, bend, do not break, hold them to 3. Offense come out on the field, and I guarantee you will see a little bit different play calling on the offense.
Yeah, you tried a couple of things early on with the motion and also with the Wildcat type plays. It didn't really work out. So you know Burrows is probably on his offensive coordinators right now to get some more movement and some more motion and to move the chains.
Yep. You know, Reggie, my biggest thing as an offensive coordinator, let's test the waters deep. You know, let's test it downfield. Let's move the ball. Let's test to see what the corners on the other team have.
Right, and you made a very good point about holding them to a field goal in there, especially that 44-yard field goal. Now you know their kicker is capable of that, but considering the field position, that's what I love about football, picking up your teammates, and the defense picked up the offense there on that play. All right, getting ready for the kickoff here. Ramirez set the kickoff, and we have the freshman back once again for the Dragons. There's the kick. It is up, and that is through the back of the end zone. So Lane will be taking over at the 20-yard line to start.
And Reggie, what I didn't mention, we didn't mention earlier, Lincoln actually leads this series 9-6. And the last time these two teams played was back in 2016, and Lincoln won 12-9. So
a defensive struggle to say the least, but that's a calling card of the Lane Dragons year in and year out. I've been covering this team for almost a decade now. Defense, no matter what goes on, defense is always prevalent.
That's true, Reggie.
All right, Marcus Reynolds bringing his team up to the line. Dragons taking over at the 25-yard line. I think it might have been a penalty there while we weren't looking. So they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Reynolds out of the shotgun again, joined in the backfield by one running back. He's had 3 wideouts. Once again, there's the handoff from Reynolds after the snap. 3 yards on the play for the Dragons.
And that's number 32, Justin Hill on the carry. And I'm going to tell you something. Justin is a load. That guy is a big guy. Kind of reminds me of a Tyrone Wheatley type of running back. He's very big. He's a load, but he can move. And he has good vision. Speaking
of moving, he just moved the chains right there. He picked up about 5 yards on that play. I shorted him one. We got 2nd down and 5 coming up right now. Reynolds once again out of the shotgun, joined by the running back in the backfield, 3 wide, 2 out to the left. There's the snap. Reynolds is going to keep it himself, and he is deceptively close to the 1st down. Should be a 3rd and short coming up.
And it looks like I was absolutely wrong. They come out and run the ball again. They come and run off the ball again, and they're having some success with it with a change of running back there. And that's 2 runs to the right this time, Reggie.
And you know, that's why these guys make the big bucks and we're up here.
Yep.
Because we're wrong most of the time. We got a 3rd down and 1 situation coming up. And, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
That's true. It looks like we have a different quarterback in right now.
We sure do. I believe it's number 12.
Michael Huntley.
Huntley in under snap. He's going to hand it off to the big back one more time. The bruising back picks up big yards. That is number 32, Justin D. Hill. The D is for domination right now because that's what he's doing on this drive. He single-handedly got the first down of the year for the Dragons.
And Justin's running with a lot of muscle, people. He's running with a lot of power. He's also a Q. And a lot of Q dogs is out here, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try to put on for today.
Shout out to Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated. And I mean, there's just a lot of people out here, and they're just ready to see some good football. And so far, pretty brisk game. Reynolds back in out of the shotgun, the senior, ready to keep the chains moving for the Dragons. He's joined by Hill in the backfield. We got some motion right now. Receiver going from right to left. Reynolds drops back. The lefty surveying the field, looking for somewhere to go. He's scrambling. He's out of the pocket. He's moving to the left. Still eyes open downfield. Finds a receiver on the sideline, and that is number 85, the young man who was in motion earlier. That is Omari Hampton out of Jackson, Mississippi with the first down. Nice play by Reynolds to keep it alive.
And we talked about this before the game started. I told you what you get with Marcus Reynolds. He allows you to spread the field. You know, he was able to keep the play alive. And look at Omari Hampton coming back to the football on that play, Reggie. That's just beautiful.
That's just beautiful. And you got to help. Football is all about picking up your team. Every sport is, but especially football. You see your quarterback in trouble, get open, and that's exactly what that young man did. All right. Lane is on the move. Offense looking pretty sharp right now. Reynolds out of the shotgun. The ball is snapped. He's going to hand it off this time. Number 8 up the middle. He picks up about 7 yards. That is Joshua Jeffrey, JJ. That was dynamite for sure for the junior as he gets close to another first down.
And we're looking at some really good runs here. Actually, some good blocking as well. You have to credit the offensive line right now. Even in this heat, they're pushing those defensive linemen back.
All right, we got a officials conference at midfield here trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if I didn't see any laundry on the field, but it might have been a penalty. That was a penalty. They're discussing it. And it looks like we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct here as we wait on the call. And it's on Lane, so they're going to be marching back. And you know what? And I don't know exactly who it was on. They didn't make the call there, but this is what Coach Burrows was talking about in the preseason, about focusing on every play and not losing your cool.
And look how far it puts us back after having the big plays down the field after Marcus Reynolds stretching the play. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts, but, you know, and this is where you got to pick up your teammates. And I don't want to beat a dead horse in the first quarter, but this is what you have to do if you're Lane. You can't have these kind of mistakes. So we got a 2nd and long coming up for the Dragons. Reynolds out of the shotgun once again, this time joining the backfield by Hill. And there's a bad snap, and Reynolds picks it up and still on his feet trying to make something out of nothing. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run up the sideline, but he had nowhere to go. And I think we see a late hit on the sideline, so this might be benefiting the Dragons by Reynolds keeping his cool there.
And what I would like for Marcus Reynolds to do there, I understand he's trying to put the team on his back, but as the quarterback, and he needs to know this is the first game.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Get out of bounds. Either throw the ball away or get out of bounds.
Yeah, because you definitely want to maintain your health there.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like you said, get rid of the football so you don't lose any more yards after the bad snap.
Yeah.
But could be a very beneficial move there.
Oh, yeah.
By the lack of focus on the Blue Tigers this time.
You have to stay disciplined as a defense as well, especially when the guy is already running out of bounds or close to out of bounds. And it's hard sometimes. I play defense, and I tell you, when you're coming full speed, and sometimes it's unconscious when you just run into the guy.
But with all the new rule changes in football, you got to be extra careful.
Isn't that interesting? I was watching a couple of NFL games this year, and I think this NFL season is going to be different. A lot of calls, I've seen some perfect form tackling, and it's been flags.
Yeah. I think we got 2 personal fouls on the play now for both sides, so I don't know if those penalties are going to cancel out. And it looks like they're just going to lose that yardage there. So the Lane did not capitalize on that. They lose yards. So what started off as a promising drive, we got 6:41 left to go in the first quarter of play. And now the Dragons are almost right back where they started at the beginning of the play after picking up so many yards. And once again, just trying to sort out the facts here. There's a lot of commotion on the field. There was laundry all over the field after that late tackle on the sideline, but I guess there was also another personal foul on Lane. So I think we're gonna reset this at first down now with 6:41 left to go. 3-0 is your score right now. The Lincoln University Blue Tigers are on top. And right now, Lane is going to be taking over on their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. So bright side of the equation, it's almost like a reboot.
It's a reset. It's
reboot,
reset.
Reset, just kind of forget everything they have in the last 3 plays, and let's see what Lane can do now. Reynolds, once again, oh, no, that's not Reynolds in at quarterback. That is the youngster in at quarterback, number 12, who's going to take it. It's a quarterback keeper. He's going up the right side. Not much room there. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there. That's number 12, Michael Huntley, again, redshirt freshman out of Montgomery, Alabama.
And that was number 1, Amani Nelson from Lincoln, the linebacker out of Indianapolis. Forced him out there.
And, you know, when you're moving left to right like that, east to west on the football field, you got to have some jets on you if you want to get there, because that defense is hauling and they are moving, and they forced the youngster out of bounds, but not before he picked up about 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Dragons.
You got to give credit to Lincoln. They're flowing to the ball. They're flying to the ball. It's what you want to see out of your defense.
Playing on a string. Reynolds out of the shotgun, joined in the backfield by Hill once again. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hill get a run here. The snap, nope. Looks like Reynolds going to keep it rolling out to the left side. Looking downfield, he's going to put some air up under this one and just throw it out of bounds. There was nobody there, nobody open. The play broke down.
And that was interesting there, Reggie. They came out in some Trey left, and I think what happened there, a couple of the receivers ran the same routes at the same, level.
Right.
Somebody has to be deeper than the other, so they'll see that. They'll correct that in film. This is the first game, but the guys have to get on a different level, especially on those out routes.
And if you had any doubts about this being the first game of the year, hopefully you've been listening to me this whole time, and you realize we all got to work out the rust and the kinks a little bit, so the receivers did run similar routes. There's another flag on the field as we get the I think we're going to get some holding. Yeah, we're going to get holding on Lane. So this possession has been, this is one for the film room. You talked about watching film afterwards. This is going to be a possession that you watch and you try to take something out of it and learn from it. Ball's going to be spotted at the 27-yard line.
You expect Lane to try to get, I know they're like, oh man, can we get a break? Can we?
Well, that's the thing about football. You got to make your own breaks, and you got to. But that's the thing. The next big play could be right around the corner. Yep. Reynolds, once again, trying to be a senior leader, keeping his composure. I did want to bring that up earlier. He kept his composure very well after that bad snap.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of snaps, here's the next snap right here. Out of the shotgun, Reynolds drops back to pass. Had somebody in his sights. Wasn't there. He drops back again. This time he finds a receiver on the sideline, and that is number 15 on the play, on the reception. So that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is Micah Grigsby out of Marietta, Georgia.
It's Makai Grisby.
Makai?
Yeah, Makai Grisby. And okay. He's an interesting player as well to watch out for. Slippery guy. Kind of reminds me of a Deshawn Jackson type of guy.
Well, he showed some nice hands there on the sideline because that ball had something on it, and he was able to zip it in there, and he was able to bring it in. So that gets him about almost back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 12, so it's 3rd and long. 5:10 left to go in the first quarter of play here at Halle Stadium. Lane trailing 3-0 to the Lincoln University Blue Tigers. Reynolds out of the gun, joined in the backfield by Jeffries. Reynolds drops back to pass, gets a good block from Jeffries. Reynolds steps up. He's looking for a man. It's not there. He decides to run, and that might be a horse collar tackle, but no, nobody's going to call it. He is taken down after picking up about 4 yards on the play, and they are going to have to punt once again.
Oh, man, I thought Marcus Reynolds seen number 85, Amari Hampton, on the sideline. He was wide open, but in the midst of scrambling, probably couldn't catch him, but had him wide open.
Yeah, Hampton was wide open. We both saw him waving his hands. We were hoping Reynolds. Everybody saw him, but the guy who needed to. So Reynolds didn't see him. So the Lane Dragons, after a very long possession, if we're just going on time of possession, well, they're winning that battle so far in the first quarter play because there's 4:15 left to go, and they are punting once again. The punt is up. Not the best punt in the world. It's going to be fielded by the Blue Tigers. That is number 6 on the reception. He's going to bring it back to the 48-yard line.
48 yard. What's interesting, I wanted to go back to that last offensive play. I think the coach would look at that next time. They were in a trips right, and it might be easier for Marcus Reynolds actually as a left-handed quarterback throwing that way. You would think maybe to the left side, but they did trips right this time, and some guys were open.
I like the fact that they're looking downfield. Yep. You mentioned it earlier. They started off with the bruising back with Justin Hill running. They started to look downfield. Not much coverage there. He needs a little more time to throw the football. The offensive line is going to have to step up a little bit for the Dragons on the pass protection side. Ogla back in for the quarterback for the Lincoln University Blue Tigers. He is also out the shotgun. He has trips to the left, one to the right. He's looking to the right. He finds a receiver, and that's it. That's the receiver he went to, the lone side there on the right. That was number 8 on the catch. That's Blake Tibbs. They call me Mr. Tibbs.
They call him Mr. Tibbs.
From Decatur, Georgia. That was a nice pass and catch there by the Blue Tigers.
Tibbs is 6'1", 185 senior. He has some good height on him. I expect Ogla to probably look for him a lot this drive.
Yeah. Agala, the 6'1" sophomore out of Somerset, New Jersey, Georgia Prep. Once again, he has trips to the left, sole receiver to the right. This time he's going to hand off the ball, and there is a big run, big chunk of yardage there by the Tigers. Number 29 on the play. I believe that's 29. Having a hard time seeing his jersey.
25.
Okay. Terry Hunter on the run, the 5'6", 200-pound junior out of Kansas City, Kansas. That's a lot of man in a short amount of space.
That's a little bowling ball, man. I love those type of running backs. Those type of running backs are actually hard as a defensive player to find because they're so low to the ground and they're so powerful and have speed. Once they get to their hole, it's hard to catch them.
All right, man. Let's try to fill a break right here. Let's take about a 30-second break. They're taking a timeout on the field. 2:54 left to go in the first quarter play here at Halle Stadium at the Bluff City Classic, Bluff City Kickoff. This is 105.3, and you're listening to Fox Sports.
Good. It's just normally we won't have that in the beach thing. This is the first game I think in 11 years that I'm so glad he's right here.
I'm so glad he's right here because we don't have that at home game, so I can know the right number.
Well, just go there, call it. Ain't nobody. I thought you was going to get the cooler.
All right. Okay, we're gonna. Hey, all right, we're back here at Halle Stadium here for the Bluff City kickoff. Lane Dragons have the football. The Blue Tigers have the football out of the timeout. Apparently, Coach Barrow saw a defensive setting that he did not like, and they got a timeout on the field quickly. Agala back under the shotgun, or not under the shotgun, but in the shotgun for the Blue Tigers. This time he's going to hand it off to the big man there, number 25 once again, but he is unable, Terry Hunter, unable to pick up yards this time because Lane was swarming.
I seen that nice cleanup tackle there, but that's Bryce McKenzie, the D lineman out of Deltona, Florida.
Okay, Daytona, not known for its spring breaks, and that was a break on the football there. See what we did there? It was a play on words. Good job out of the timeout. That's exactly what you want after you take a timeout for defensive purposes to come back and get a loss on the play.
That is very key.
2nd and 11. Agala once again out of the shotgun. Both teams going to be running the spread offense. We got two receivers to the right, one out to the left. To the left, one out to the right. Hunter in the backfield once again with Agala. Ball snap. Agala looking for the pass. He's going to find his man, number 80, the big tight end. Picks up a big chunk of yards, gets down to the 10-yard line, and that is number 80 for the Blue Tigers. That is Eric Bryce, 6'2", sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri.
And what they like to do, it looks like they like to spread you out and just dump off to the flats. It's been a lot of flat routes that they've been having a lot of success on.
Well, that's what they're open. They're trying to defend the downfield there. The Dragons are, so they're leaving a lot open on the side. And Agala's doing a pretty good job of reading the defense, and he's getting enough time to deliver the football. What do you do here right now if you're Coach Barrows and the defense for the Dragons?
Well, you definitely, I think, in this position, want to send some pressure. The field gets shorter on this end, so I like to play man or a zone. But you want to send some pressure back there. They're getting a little happy, getting a little too lax back there with being able to just throw the football.
Right, and they're getting rid of the ball quickly. The snap, this time the ball is handed off to number 4. Nice cut back there and a beautiful shoestring tackle there by number 37. And that is Christian Willett, or Willett.
Christian Willett, the 6'1", 190 junior from Memphis, Tennessee. Another native here.
Yeah, and there are a lot of fans out here for these guys. You can hear, you don't usually hear big, loud cheers after tackles, but a lot of family members here from Memphis, Tennessee. And Memphis is a hotbed for football, and Lane knows that, and that's why they recruit so well here. All right, coming back to the line now. We got a possible scoring situation for Lincoln University. They're on the 5-yard line, the 6-yard line, and goal to go. Agala out of the shotgun. Looking for the snap, receives the snap, hands it off one more time to the big back, and once again the Lane defense steps up. Number 4, that is Kimbo Ferguson, and Kimbo got sliced on that one. He had nowhere to go.
Good job by the defense there. Like I said, they pin their heads back, hold their gap position, hold their gap control, just make a play.
And you got to make the plays down here. And, you know, the defense is definitely on its heels when you're this close to the goal line, but the offensive play calling is very limited.
Yep.
There's just not a lot of ways to go. And that is the end of the first quarter. Last play of the first quarter, they're going to switch ends of the field. We're going to go ahead and take a little break here on 105.3 Fox Sports. Let's take a 60-second break back in the studio, and we'll come back with even more Lane College Dragon football.
So now let's try to bring some of that back. Minimize this.
Kimbo got sliced. I started laughing. I laughed.
First thing I thought of.
Yeah. See if the poor kids even know who he
No, they probably don't. That's why I was like,
Tell them when you come back, tell them to YouTube. It's his backyard fight.
Kimbo slice.
He was a bad man to
Oh, it
tackle.
was, it was.
Open that. Go to beat 1102 there. Click on there. Okay. Then go to 6. Close that out.
That's right. We are back here at Halle Stadium for the Bluff City kickoff. It's yours truly, Reggie Walker Jr., joined by my boy De-Jon
Mitchell.
Way to beat Johnny on the spot on that one, De-Jon. We got some first quarter stats to run down. We'll do those during the last few plays here. But the second quarter of action is picking up. 15 minutes left to go on the clock. Agla out of the shotgun. They're still on the 5-yard line. This time Agla drops back, finds a receiver in the flat, and that is number 3 for the Lincoln team. That is Hosea Franklin, and Franklin is in the end zone for another score and the first touchdown of the year here at Halle Stadium.
And I thought Lane was going to be able to make that tackle there. That's a Kadarius Pickens from Lane. I thought he was going to be able to make that tackle, but that was a good job by the runner to shake it off.
So far, really excellent play calling for Lincoln University. Can't deny that. Stephen Smith, the 22nd head coach of the Blue Tigers, he was named that last December, and man, he has these guys rolling like a well-oiled machine right now. Extra point on the way for the Blue Tigers. We already seen this guy booming from 44, so an extra point should be a chippy. It is 10-0 is your score with 14:55 left to go. Can you break down that last play for the people at home? It was a very simple play out in the flat.
It was very simple. It was actually a rollout. It looked like they came out in just some twins and a simple rollout with the slide just doing a simple out route. Quarterback was able to get it to him, and man, he just ran it in for a touchdown.
All right, first half stats. Rushing was the key on both sides. When the Dragons had it rolling, they were rushing the ball pretty good. Justin Hill, two carries for 8 yards, or 4 yards a carry. Seemed like it was a little more than that, but they were picking up big yards on the play. And then Marcus Reynolds had 5 carries for 7 yards. Of course, one of those was a big loss after the snap. Agla 3 for 4 in the first quarter, 25 yards. Longest play was that 18-yard play we saw earlier.
And going back to those runs by Justin Hill, you know, if you look at that drive, it was going so well. At those penalties end up biting you.
Yeah, those penalties hurt a lot. Ramirez, he's getting set to kick off for the Tigers, who have to be feeling good. A 10-0 lead right now. Lane not getting much done on offense, but I look for that to not continue. I don't think that trend's going to continue. And the kick is up. It's a nice kick there. It's going to be returned at about the 15-yard line by Lane. And the freshman, nice play there to jump over one defender and eventually getting the ball to the 26-yard line. And that's where Lane is going to pick it up. And who was that on the kick?
That's Anthony Evelyn. Anthony Evelyn, the athlete, 5'9", 169 freshman out of Atlantic Beach, Florida. And I like him. I like the way he's, as a freshman, he's getting the ball. Like I said, if you can get it past the 20 on your returns, it's good.
All I know is you got to be really cold to have your position named athlete.
Yeah.
When they can't even find a position for you in the lexicon of football, they just put athlete.
Athlete.
And that's what he showed there by avoiding one of the tacklers and picking up an extra 3 yards. You don't know how big that extra 3 yards could end up being. All right. Once again, Lane, they're going with Stacks.
Oh, yeah.
They're going with Stacks on the left side. Still got the big running back Hill in the backfield. Reynolds at the quarterback position. Wide receiver in motion. I believe that's Bryce. Reynolds gets the snap. Looking for a man. He finds one over the top. That is number 11, and that is a big play. That's a post, and he is taking that to the house. One and done. Reynolds finds his receiver. That is number 11 on the catch. Ahmad Isaac, the junior from Dolomite, Alabama, and the Dragons are on the board.
And this is exactly what we've been waiting on, Reggie. Lincoln is sitting in a zone coverage. They're sitting in a zone, and it was good patience right there from the quarterback to look over off the safety and throw it deep down the field. Oh, man, that was great.
And you brought up the patience of Reynolds, but having the time to exhibit patience. The offensive line stepped up right there big time, 74-yard play. That is called a big play, sir.
What a throw. What a throw. I expect him to go down the field some more. I see, look at Jacoby Jones was just jumping up and down just right now. He was waiting for that.
And Pena with the extra point, and all of a sudden a comfortable lead for the Blue Tigers. Gets a little tighter. 14:37 left to go in the first half of play, and the Dragons have to be feeling good. Can you break that down for me a little bit there? I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to break the play down for the people at home.
Yeah, man.
And way to bring up Jacoby Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I see your name dropping.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and what you got to love that there. They came out again with some quads, and this time they motioned over. And as you see, if the linebackers do not shift on the motion, more than likely it's a zone coverage.
Right.
So that gives the quarterback the opportunity to say, you know what, at a sitting in zone, I might have something deeper in the seams. This time he hit him deep down the field. Great job.
And you brought up the patience, but shout out to the offensive line, the big guys who don't get any props.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing a lot of the dirty work and a lot of the heavy lifting. That time they gave Reynolds enough time to roll out to the left, survey the field, see his man, Isaac, just beating his man.
Oh, yeah.
Off the line of scrimmage, and he beat him. And once he got to that post route, he was gone.
And I loved how Ahmad Isaac, he showed a true Chad Johnson. I would actually say Jacoby Jones, but putting that hand all the way up to let him know, hey, I'm open. Throw it to me.
Throw me the doggone ball. This is family entertainment. We're not going to say the real book. Pena with the kickoff. Pretty good kick, too. It gets back to the goal line, and that's in the end zone. He's got to bring it back out. That's a perfect kick. Like the Tigers trying to get something going. Nothing there. Oh, no, he's still on his feet. He looked like he was down. We got Laundry on the field. We'll see how far this goes. But right now he's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's running out of steam. He's at the 5, at the goal line. He is in for the touchdown. And we got some Laundry on the field, so I don't know how official this is. But right now it looks like a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
And it's so sad that he ran that in and running out of gas, because I think there was a block in the back down here. I caught it down here close to about the 30-yard line. So it'll be coming back.
And the flag was before that, so we'll definitely see what's going on. But at least we know that young man has endurance. That was number 6, a Johnny Johnson, sophomore out of Reseda, California.
How did he get out of that one?
I have no idea. I thought he was on the ground. I thought he's 5'6", so he was almost on the ground when he caught the ball. And I thought he was definitely down. And this one's going to go against,
Yeah, it was that block in the back.
Block in the back, so we're going to re-kick.
And the guy that blocked in the back, I didn't catch the number. He actually did not have to do that. The runner was well ahead. And you know, as a head coach from Lincoln, you hate those type of penalties.
Oh yeah, because that was a great run back.
That was a great run back.
And you know, I mean, you can kind of call that almost every play in football. But if the ref sees it, the official sees it, it happened, and that's what's going to go down.
Yeah, it was pretty blatant. I seen it from up here, Reggie.
And I was so busy ready to call the young man down. He was not down. And it looks like they're going to take the ball from the 5-yard line. So I think they had offsetting penalties.
Yeah. About the 11-yard line.
The 11-yard line, all right. as the Blue Tigers take the field. So after a very exciting run back for them, that's got to be, like you said, a little bit deflating for Lincoln University, but they're going to be taking it from the 11-yard line, and now we're going to see what do you do when you get punched in the mouth? I think somebody said anytime you fight Mike Tyson, you got to have a plan, but what do you do after you get punched in the mouth? And the Tigers were just punched in the mouth on that last play by the Dragons. Agla finds a receiver into the flat. Once again, a missed tackle results in about maybe 6 or 7 more yards there for the Tigers, and that's number 3 on the catch, Franklin.
And Lincoln comes out and does the same thing they've been doing, dumping off to the flats. And the defense doing the same thing they're doing, flying up to the ball, but they just have to wrap up to finish the play there.
And that was Willett on the final tackle there, so he picked up his teammate there and made the tackle. 2nd and 2 coming up, 13:45 left to go in the half.
And the defense have to do a better job of wrapping up and making sure that the guy is down.
And I think we got a timeout on the field. Apparently, Lincoln's coach didn't like what he was seeing. So if that's the case, I think we're going to take a 30-second break as well. Once again, 13:34 left to go in the half. 10-7 is your score. The Lincoln University Blue Tigers are leading the Lane College Dragons by that score. We're going to take a 30-second break here on 105.3 Fox Sports. Good job, too, bro.
Oh, yeah, man.
Good job for him. That's right. We're back here live at Halle Stadium for the Bluff City kickoff. Lane College hosting Lincoln University. It's Reggie Walker Jr. joined by my boy Deshawn Mitchell. I got it right now.
You got it, Reggie.
3rd time around. You know I'm not going to mess that one up. Agla, he's going to keep it. It's a quarterback keeper. He tries to pick up some yards, but he's not getting much there. He's going to be close to that 1st down. Looks like he might have got it.
No, yeah, they got it. I think he was well over.
It was 2nd and 3, and he picked up exactly 3.
Yeah, he got 3.
All right, so the chains are moving, and that's what you want to do if you're Lincoln. You can't get wrapped up in the excitement. You had 2 huge plays back-to-back, and it gets that adrenaline pumping, but you got to keep playing good football, right?
That's what I would say, Reggie. And I would look for the defense to try to force a turnover here. You know, you got them kind of pinned up in your, territory. Why not try to get a turnover?
So you're looking for a blitz here for the Dragons?
I would love that. I like the blitz.
All right, here we go. We got 2 receivers in motion now. A very odd-looking alignment there for the Blue Tigers, and that's a bad snap. Somebody was out of position. Agla has to go down with it at the 9-yard line. A lot of discombobulation from the get-go there.
And I was just talking about a turnover and how big a turnover would be, and they almost got it.
They almost got it.
They almost got it.
Yeah, once I saw the 2 receivers in motion, it didn't make much sense, and I just love it because they gave me a chance to bring out the word discombobulation on air and show that I paid for my college education. That's a big college word. I paid for that word. I'm going to use it as much as I can, and I can get this word out too, trouble. That's what the Blue Tigers are in now because they're 2nd and 21. Yeah, 2nd and 21. So at this point in time, what are you looking for on offense?
Looking for offense, I think what you try to do in this situation is at least try to get back to the sticks, try to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And if you can get more than that, hey, that's always great as well.
All right, let's see what Coach Smith is going to call for the Blue Tigers. Agla with the snap, looking downfield, has a man on a button hook route. That was a beautiful play there. Sorry about that. That was a beautiful play there and a beautiful catch by the receiver. He came back right on time. That was number 84, Justin Caracas.
Yeah. I'm very impressed, too, with the quarterback play from Lincoln, man. They're putting the ball right where the receiver needs to get it, right in the breadbasket.
And route running is a very underappreciated skill from the receiver. You get a receiver that can run a beautiful route. As soon as he turned around on the hook, the ball was right there ready. Once again, they did exactly what you said, Deshawn. They got back to the sticks. Agla out of the shotgun again. He's looking for a receiver, looking downfield. He steps up in the pocket, finds a man over the middle, but it is fumbled. Not fumbled, but He didn't catch the ball.
It was
He
dropped.
didn't catch the ball.
It's all right, Reggie. It's our first one. It's our
Hey,
first
no,
one.
it's all good. Who was that? That was number 84 again. I believe it was the same young man again, Justin Caracas. So he made a great. We praised him, and then he comes over the seam route, has a perfect save, and he drops the ball, and that's going to be 4th down coming up for the Blue Tigers. So a great stop by Lane.
Great stop. Great stop. They surprised me. They did a trip to the short side of the field there, and almost hit the seam.
Almost. That was a very catchable football there. Another well-thrown ball by Agua. 11-13 left to go in the first half of play. 10-7 is your score. Blue Tigers set to punt. There's the snap. There's the kick. A pooch punt. Didn't get much on that. This might bode well for the Dragons. They're just going to let it bounce, and it's going to be picked up at about the 46-yard line. So very good field position for the Dragons.
They'll start off with some really good field position there, and like I said, hey, they went deep last time and scored. I think we might be seeing another deep ball here, Reggie.
You know, I would love a pump fake. I would love to try to get the cornerbacks to bite. Maybe, run a hitch and go route with your receiver and see what you got. As long as the offensive line is giving Reynolds time, I would give it a shot. Dragons approaching the line of scrimmage, getting set. Hey, they're riding a lot of momentum right here. Reynolds has to be feeling pretty good at the quarterback position. The lefty out of the shotgun, one back in the backfield, trips to the right, and one receiver to the left. And we got a false start. Somebody jumped. We got laundry on the field. False start on the offense.
Oh, it's on Lane? Yeah.
So that's, as a player on the field, how frustrating is that? Because you're really trying to capitalize on momentum.
Yeah. What they have to settle down. Usually those false starts, a little excitement down there. That's what it is. And they're ready to fire off, especially those linemen. The linemen are ready to fire off. Just got to settle down.
The adrenaline is still pumping. First game of the year. The snap is on the way. There it is. Reynolds picks up the low snap, hands it off to his back. That's number 16 with the carry. Not picking up his name here.
That's Ryan Whitaker.
Ryan Whitaker, wide receiver, actually in the backfield, out of Cordova, Tennessee. So that's still the Memphis area.
Yeah.
Had a lot of rivalries with Cordova when I played at Overton and played a little baseball there. So Cordova has come a long way over the years, a very esteemed establishment.
And it looks like Lincoln comes out in the 4-3. They're bringing 4 guys, and they have 3 guys in the box.
The snap is underway. Reynolds drops back to pass. The lefty fires a dart over to the sideline, and it is dropped, but there is laundry on the field one more time. And I think we got false start, I believe.
On the previous penalty, it was a false start.
Referees are conversing on the sideline right now, and that's another thing I love about the officials in football. They make sure they get the call right. And we have encroachment. That's right. We have that on the defense, so the ball is going to be moving in Lane's favor.
What a good pass as well on that last play by Marcus Reynolds. I was surprised Mari Hampton couldn't come down with that one. He put it right there, right in his hands, right in the diamond.
And it's one of those passes that quarterbacks are taught to make, and the receiver should love, because it was only he could catch it. The defender, it was out of the defender's grasp. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. Second down coming up for the Dragons, and they got a little help from the defense this time.
Oh, yeah.
The penalty. Offsides.
The visiting side is filling up as we speak, and the home field side is packed right now. The bands are getting ready for halftime. We got 10:28 left to go before halftime. There is the snap. It's going to be a keeper for Reynolds. Reynolds goes up the right side, gets a nice block there from his guard as he scoots ahead for about 7 yards on the play. Nice pickup there by the senior quarterback, Reynolds.
Really nice pickup there by Reynolds, and I don't know, maybe from up here I'm seeing something different, but it looks like he had a lot of room outside. If he could have bounced it outside, and I know with his speed, oh, man, it would have been daylight.
But you got to know that the coaches see that as well. They're in the booth in the room next to us, so they're witnessing this from the bird's eye view as well. Look for that play in the second half if they need to pick up a lot of yardage.
Oh, yeah.
This time spreading it out a little bit more. We got 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Receiver in motion. Reynolds out of the shotgun, receives the snap, looks to the right side, and that ball just did not come out of his hand right. It was a knuckler.
And he was looking for that flat route again on that time, but honestly, I feel like if he was just patient, he had that hitch route in the middle. Just have to be a little bit more patient, which he has been doing this game, Reggie. But
Yeah.
on that play, just a little bit more patient and deliver that pass. That would have been an easy first down.
An easy first down, and the chains did not move there. So both defensive getting stout here at this point in time. They're trying to. You can tell the defensive coaches are on their heads over there on the sideline to keep this game from being a slugfest. And Lane is set to punt right now. And let's see if where this punt can go. Pena receives the high snap, puts a little bit on it. That's actually a pretty good punt. It's going to be taken at the 5-yard line, and now the Tigers are moving it up the field, and they get it about to the 16-yard line, maybe the 15 or 16-yard line, and that is where the Lincoln University Blue Tigers will take over on offense with 9:28 left to go in the second quarter of play.
And I would have liked to see on that last drive, actually, why not go down the field again? It looks like they were trying to settle for those flat routes. They hit him for a deep ball on the touchdown last series. Why not do it again this time? And they're sitting, like I said, Lincoln is sitting in those zones. They're sitting in the flats. So try to hit them over the top.
And I agree with you, Deshawn. And maybe a lot of that is setting it up for the rest of the game. You know, you went big once. Why do it again? But I'm with you. I was a Steve Spurrier fan when I was growing up. And the fun and gun where you just like let it rip every time and test those safeties and test those corners. Yep. But there is a game plan in place, and then they worked all year, all off season for leading up to this moment. So I'm not going to second guess any of the coaching staff there. Agla back in the shotgun for Lincoln. He receives the snap, hands it off to the big man, number 4. That is Ferguson. Ferguson picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
That's high number 92. That's Bryce McKenzie again on that stop.
Bryce McKenzie, his name's been called a couple of times today.
Yeah.
Like to see some more linebacker action. You were talking about that before the game. Streeter, I believe that was his name. I would like to see him just getting involved in more plays and just jamming up the middle. And we got to get some pressure on Agla because he's been kind of comfortable back there all day.
he's acting like he's in California somewhere, just by the beach and hanging out.
On the beach, man. Chilling on the beach.
Put some pressure on him. Let him know he's in Memphis.
Truer words have never been said. Put some pressure on him. Let him know he is in Memphis, Tennessee. And a really good job by the grounds crew today making this field look presentable and suitable in the stadium. And everybody who's just been on point. And I believe we got another timeout on the field. And so if they're taking the timeout on the field, we're going to take a timeout in the booth so we can get a little swig of something to quench the thirst here. You're listening to 105.3 Fox Sports, and this is Lane College Football. Jackson 105.3. We're here at the Bluff City kickoff, and man, so far so good as far as football action goes. 10-7 is your score. Lincoln University up by the score of 10-7. 8:38 left to go. They have the ball moving down the field. 2nd and 6 coming up, ball on the 22-yard line. Agla has been looking pretty good at the quarterback position for the Blue Tigers all day, and this time he gets the snap. He's looking over the middle. He has time. This time he is popped in the mouth there by number 95?
It was 95 and 30. Yeah, that's 95. And I want to say that is Dexter Collins, the D lineman, 6'1", 325 out of Houston, Texas.
And you brought up 36 on the play as well. And, we don't have a 36 on the roster, but looked like he came on the blitz. And that's what you said you wanted to see more. You wanted to see more intensity and putting pressure on Agla. And, he got popped pretty good right there. He did not look like he was on the beach on that play.
Oh, yeah, and he's fixing his chin strap right now. I'm guarantee you next time he's going to be looking for some guys to come his way.
You're trying to establish some happy feet in the pocket. maybe you start seeing shadows that aren't there, and you can get a rush throw. Let's see what's going on now. Another blitz is coming from the right side. They pick it up this time, and Agla under control, and he makes a nice pass there to number 8 on the play. That is Blake Tibbs with the reception, and that is a first down, my friend.
That was a good job at standing in the pocket and deliver that throw. And it looks like the defender actually had a chance. Looked like he had a chance. He just missed it.
Well, the offensive line did a good job of picking up that blitz on the left side, gave Agla enough time, and he made the pass again. He's a pretty good quarterback. He's impressed me so far.
I'm impressed with both teams' play and execution. Both teams have been able to make some plays, you know, at 100% defensively and offensively.
Blue Tigers approaching the line. Only one wide out, and they got a stacked formation in the backfield. 2 huge backs, and they got a lot of extra protection on the line. Agla surveying the field. He's going to check it up a little bit. He sees something, lets his offensive line know what's going on. He receives the snap. He's going to hand it off to his running back, and he is taken down. Lane not going on that possession there. Big play there by Willett.
Christian Willett coming down, and he just played his alley. That's an alley tackle right there. He played his alley, and he shot it. Good job there.
And he made the play, and so far, Kimbo Ferguson has a couple of nice plays here, but he's been held in check by this defensive line for the Dragons.
And what Lincoln has been giving us, they've been giving us a little bit of far, a little bit of near, and a little bit of trips and tray. They like to run those formations.
Right, and I don't know. It's 2nd and 17. I'm feeling a play downfield here. I just feel like Agla, they're going to give him some time, and he's going to go there. He has 2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. Out of the shotgun again, he receives the snap, and that's right. He's looking downfield, looked over the middle, but that was a very errant throw, and nobody in particular was ready to catch that football.
And I think number 16, number 27 from Lane this time, that was DeMichael McQueen. He sat in his zone. And, boy, it might have been lights out if that receiver would have caught the ball.
Yeah, that would have been a very scary situation because we talked about all those new rules in the NFL, the pro game, and how they've trickled down to college and high school. You got to give the receiver enough time to catch the ball, but he definitely would have had enough time to catch it and get his block knocked off. So it was good. It was almost a blessing in disguise that pass was a little over his head.
You know what? I played a little slot in high school, Reggie, and one thing I did not like is when the quarterback threw the ball just way too high, and I still got hit. That would have been that situation.
Yeah, I played a little slot down at the casino. It didn't work out good for me. Agla drops back the pass, and he has nowhere to go. Big sack there by number 7 for the Lane College Dragons. Rodney Shorter making moves. Out of Long Beach? Where is he from? Long Beach, California?
It's another California guy. I'm telling you, it's just something in the water down there, man. Something in the water.
A very, very big possession there for the Lane College Dragons. Defense. And Coach Burrows, I don't know how much emotion he usually shows on the sideline, but he is strolling that sideline, and he is feeling really good about his defense right now.
Oh, yeah, man, I would too, and especially when you just talked about it, the linebacker play. Shooting that gap like that on a blitz, man, and it's just beautiful to see.
All right, the punt is up, and the Dragons will return it, and not much room there. Yeah, that's number 11 on the return. Ahmed Isaac didn't really have a lot of places to run there, but he caught the football, and still pretty good field position for Lane.
And Ahmad Isaac is the one that had the touchdown earlier and the deep ball. It looks like he tried to get one on the punt return as well, but you can't run backwards. You got to run forwards.
Yeah, as far as I know, I think that's the way the sport works. This isn't rugby, for Pete's sakes. I don't know if you can run backwards in rugby either, but 5:56 left to go in the first half of play. 10-7 is the score. Blue Tigers on top of the Dragons. Dragons looking to get something going on offense, though, because they definitely need to get some more points on the board, even if it's a field goal, to get some momentum going into halftime. I believe we have a penalty on the play, so we're looking at a re-kick. Once again, the referees are discussing, the officials are discussing what the next play is going to be. Not a lot of flags, but they've been consistently there the entire time.
I can't remember the exact number, but Lincoln actually did a really good job last season with not having too many penalties. And we haven't had a lot today. We had some that has been critical.
And it looks like the offense for the Blue Tigers is coming back on the field.
So it's going to be a re-kick.
Well, no, it looks like they're calling a personal foul.
Oh, wow.
And I did not see a personal foul on that play, but apparently the officials saw it. So it looks like the Blue Tigers will maintain possession of the offense. So that's a very big momentum swing there, and coaching staff for the Dragons can't be too happy about that. Ogla with the snap. He's going to hand it off to Hill, and excuse me, not Hill. That's number 25. The running back Terry Hunter. He picks up about 3 yards on the play. So that's a big swing.
It's a really big swing, and you know what? That's just give the defense to say, you know what? Let's get a turnover. Let's get a turn. Maybe this is our opportunity to get a turnover.
Right, and you got to look at the glass half full because I mean, you look at the alternative. Your defense is still on the field. You want to get your offense on the field and get those guys a break on a decently warm day. But you're right. Let's see if they can get a turnover here. Ogla has been comfortable all day, but they put a lot of pressure on him on that last possession, or this extended possession now. So let's see if they can keep putting pressure on Ogla. There's the snap. He's going to keep it this time, and he has nowhere to go. He just falls right down. And that looks like that's going to be credited with a sack there, number 4. I like Kenneth Williams. That is a senior right there. And that's the young man who I was referring to earlier, who Derek Burrows looks at as one of the leaders on defense. As soon as the quarterback falls, he touches him with one pointer finger and says, holds up his hands, and that's my sack. Yeah. That is a senior leader right there.
And I know Kenny personally. Kenny is very quiet. He's very reserved, but he's a smart, intelligent defensive player. And that's why I think Burrows looks into so much, and he reminds him a little bit of himself. He's a student of the game. He's always in meetings. He's always in films, and he really understands this defense.
He did a good job there. That put pressure on him. That was a busted play. Ogla had nowhere to go. All right, this time we got 4 wide out. They're spreading it out. Ogla, he's going to look down the field. He sidesteps one play. Oh, nice break on the football there by Williams, and Johnny on the spot, and now we see a yellow flag come on the field. As you can hear it in the background there. It looks like it might be on lane.
I just can't believe if they call this pass interference. I just didn't see it, Reggie.
It didn't look like a very catchable ball early on. It looked like it was on the way to the ground, and both defender and receiver went for it, and that's exactly what they're going to call pass interference on Williams. A lot of subjectivity there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I tend not to criticize the officials too much. There's some subjectivity going on.
You know, I will say the refs have been watching this game very close.
Yeah, and there's an old adage that the fans don't come to see the refs ref. They come to see the players play. So we're going to go ahead and just keep it moving here. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
That's it.
All right, we're going to go ahead first down here, 1st and 10 for the Lincoln University Blue Tigers. Another awkward snap. This time they get it to Hunter. Hunter has nowhere to go. Swarmed by Dragons everywhere there on that play.
Now that's defense there. You know, I see number 92. I see 27. I see so many guys in there. I even seen Streeter get in there, get his head in there.
Hey, it looked like a lotto number. Just saw 95, 37, 15. A lot of people on that play there.
Like to see that out of the defense, especially running to the ball. I watched this team practice the other day, and man, you'll hear every single coach, get to the ball, get to the ball. And that's what they did there.
That is the key. 2nd down and 10 to go, so no yardage gained on the play for the Tigers. Ogla once again out of the shotgun, looking to the left side, finds a receiver, and a lot of skilled hands going on here right now. And I think you got to attribute some of that to the defense. Another dropped pass there by a Tiger receiver, but he was blanketed there on the play.
And I tell you what, I don't know if Burrows is hearing me, but he is sending pressure from everywhere. He's bringing the strong safety up. He's bringing guys from everywhere to this series.
And that just makes everybody else has to step up more once you get that side of your field vacated. You got to really step up on the defensive end, but putting pressure on the quarterback is key for the remainder of this game. 3:27 left to go in the first half of play. Tigers coming to the line now. Looks like they're going to have 2 wide to the left, 1 back in the backfield.
Got a Trips out there. Trips left.
Ogla receives the snap. He's looking downfield, and he is once again swarmed. It's a fumble. The ball is out. It's loose, and that is covered up by the Dragons. And you hear a lot of excitement coming from that coach's booth because that's the turnover you were looking for last possession.
And I just said it. Anytime you get moments where you know what, the defense have to come back, get back on the field. Well, you know what, as a defensive player, I'm trying to get off the field, and the way I can get off the field is either we're going to 3 and out them or we're going to try to get a turnover.
That's so real, Deshawn. You're absolutely correct, and you said it. Glass half full. We're back on the field. Let's get a turnover, and that's exactly what they did. 3:20 left to go. Great field position for Lane's offense. Let's see if Reynolds, the senior quarterback, the lefty, can get them into the end zone on this particular drive. And you definitely don't want to give the ball back to the offense, so you want to make sure time of possession is on your side. Out of the shotgun, senior surveys the defense, trying to see what he sees. He has a hot linebacker up the middle, keeping an eye on him. He drops back. Nice block there for the running back, but he couldn't hold him for very long. That blitz was very effective there for the Blue Tigers as the sack goes down. Number 36, Quan Mason, the sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia. He came on the blitz, and they couldn't pick him up.
That was a good play there by number 36. But then again, look what the defensive coordinators are doing now. They're sending pressure. Lane was sending some pressure. You know what? Now we're going to send some pressure. And pressure just makes the quarterback so uncomfortable, and he can't see. They can't really go through their possessions.
Yeah, it either busts pipes or makes diamonds.
There you go.
That's what pressure does. And let's see if they keep putting pressure on Reynolds. Can he make a diamond right here? Because we've seen him move with his feet. The second possession coming up here, second down and 19. Once again out of the shotgun, Reynolds calls for the snap. He gets it. He drops back the pass. He's looking downfield, finds a receiver. And that ball is dropped. It looked like he had possession of it for a moment, but it is dropped. That was number 81, Quantavious Wilson with the drop.
You got to hold on to these type of balls, especially after a sack, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Got to hold on to the ball there.
And he dropped it right at the sticks, too.
Yeah.
So now you have a 3rd and long coming up. You don't want to give the Tigers great field possession right back, so you definitely want to pick up a big chunk of yards here.
Let's see what they come out here. They come out in some dubs. Got some dubs action. Running back to the right side. Comes some motion.
Snap underway. Reynolds finds a man that was in motion, and we got a large chunk of yardage here. That's number 85. He makes a cut. He gets to the first down marker. That, my friends, is the first down, and the flag was launched 20 yards by the official by the end zone. So we're going to see what this is. But right now, that was a beautiful offensive possession and a nice run there by Omari Hampton, the senior.
And Omari Hampton was able to catch that ball and get upfield. That's whenever you catch those little small bubble passes, you're just looking to get upfield.
You're just trying to get upfield, and I see a couple of lane players dropping their heads, so it could have a holding. And for him to see that holding from that far back is very impressive, to say the least. So that large play has been wiped out by Hampton, but it still doesn't let go of the fact that that was a beautiful play by the receiver. So we got another huge 3rd down coming here for the Dragons because they're going to reset all this.
This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like as soon as they get a good play going, get a good rhythm going, that laundry is on the field.
And just to reiterate what we talked about in the pregame show, what Coach Burrows wanted from his team as an overall goal this year was focus. It was just maintaining that focus. And I'm not going to put it all on the officials, but, some of these calls are they stop drives. They're momentum killers. But you got 3rd down coming up again here. Let's see what the Dragons can come up with. Let's see if they can strike gold twice. Reynolds looking over to the sideline, picking up his play from his offensive coordinator. Out of the shotgun, he receives the snap. He drops back to pass. 5-step drop. He's going over the middle. He has a man. Oh, no, it is nearly picked off there by the Blue Tigers. Number 2 on that play for the Tigers. That was Joseph
Madrigal.
I was going to go Madrigal.
Okay.
But Madrigal works for me. He knocks the ball down. Could have had an interception there, but it's going to be 4th down for the Dragons with 1:42 left to go in the half.
And Joseph, another California guy, this time from Bellflower, not of Compton College.
Bellflower, California.
Out of Compton College. We got to give credit to Makai Grisby there. He had to go from offense to defense. Because if he did not touch the defender there, he might have been a pick.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Pena is back to punt now for the Dragons. He gets the punt up, high punt, giving his team plenty of time to get down there. They're going to try to keep that out of the end zone, and they will. That ball is going to bounce and end up at the 6-yard line, looks like. So a great punt there by Pena. Dragons defense is going to try to hold the Blue Tigers at bay. Had an opportunity, the offense had opportunity to score a couple of flags, took them out of the field goal range as well. So with 1:30, exactly 90 seconds left before halftime, right now if you're the Lane defense, you just want to hold them at bay and go in with a 3-point margin.
And if I'm a defender right now, knowing the time that's left, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. You know, in this this position, they might be looking to score. They might be looking to go down the field. They can't run the ball.
And I got to point this out. I have no idea what's going on right now.
A repunt.
Got a repunt. The last person to find out was the punter. Go figure. Pena runs on the field. It's like, what's going on? So we got a repunting situation here. So after a very excellent punt, they're going to have to do it again. Let's see if Pena can recreate that. This time it sails a little bit on them, and that's going to go into the end zone. So they'll pick it up at about the 20-yard line. So once again, now it's 1:23 left to go. What have you assessed from this first half of play, man? So far, it's been pretty good. We're going to talk about more at halftime, so make sure you stay tuned for some halftime tidbits we'll be discussing. But what did you see from the first half so far?
From this first game is what we expected. You know, we've seen some hard-nosed football, some running. This is the first game, so we've seen some penalties. But at the end of the day, we've seen some big plays. We've seen a lot of, like I said, flags that's taking the big plays away. But we're seeing some hard-nosed football, and the thing that's interesting is, despite all of the flags, the score is still close.
Yeah, it's still a close game. Another defensive struggle. You said the last time they played was 12-6 or
12-9.
12-9. So we're on a higher scoring pace than that. Blue Tigers back on the field for offense. Ogla gets the ball, tries to find a man over the middle. Unable to do that. Why? Because he ended up on his back, because that pressure from the Lane Dragons is still coming strong.
It's coming. And in the beginning, you've seen the defense more so, I think, trying to assess what the offense is doing. And now it's, okay, we see what they're doing. Let's go get it.
And this is where you're going to find out how your conditioning is as well, because you're seeing a lot of tired guys on the sideline, but all that preseason, the times the guys didn't want to run, they didn't want to put in the effort, now they're seeing what it was all for, because the adrenaline wears off eventually. And I think the adrenaline is worn off now as we go 1:18 left to go in the second quarter of play. And looks like the Dragons defense is still motivated.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ogla out of the shotgun once again with the back of the backfield. He's looking to pass it again. He's going downfield. He finds a receiver out in the flat. That picks up a first down and gets out of bounds, I believe. So they're about the 32-yard line on that play there. Picks up about 12 yards. Ogla, once again, when he gets time, he looks solid.
And he likes those out routes. He's connected on those out routes a lot of times this game.
And we have a timeout on the field. That's right. Not enough personnel on the field for the Dragons, so Coach Burrows takes a timeout. Matter of fact, let us take a 30-second timeout. Let's one more 30-second timeout. We have 1 minute and 3 seconds left to go in the half. We're going to be right back here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. At Halle Stadium, and I just want to say, man, thank you so much back in the studio for sticking with us and with these timeouts, man. And everything's running pretty fluidly back there, and it takes a team to make the dream work. Teamwork, dream work. I tried to say something motivational right there. It didn't come out smooth. 1:03 left to go in the half. 10-7 is your score. Lincoln on top. Lincoln, it looks like Ogla's trying to get down into field goal range. Maybe they can get some more points on the board. So you got to be wary of that if you're Lane. They got two deep right now. Ogla drops back to pass. He's looking in the flat. Very difficult pass, very difficult catch there, and that's why it did not happen. Number 25, Terry Hunter, unable to haul in that possession.
And these out routes are open almost every play. And this time it looked like Lane came out on a little bit of two-man. And
Right.
so what the coordinator is probably trying to do is get these guys to bunch up in the middle to open up those out routes.
Right, and then that play, you're right, it was wide open. And I don't know Hunter as an individual, but he doesn't look like a guy that's going to break you down in the open field. So it's probably what you want if you're Lane, to get somebody like that that's not a playmaker out there and make the tackle on an island. Blue Tigers getting their offense set once again. We got the Dubs on the right, Dubs on the left. Here we go. And there's a play action fake. A lot of commotion, a lot of traffic around the line of scrimmage. Not much action, though, as the Tigers go down quickly. Third down coming up here with 46 seconds left.
I'm actually surprised by that play at this, type of situation, an inside run to run the clock.
Right. And maybe they're just conceding the fact they're just going to go into halftime.
That might be it, Reggie.
But look what Coach Barrows is doing with the Dragons. They're utilizing their timeouts. Well, we're not going to take a break here. We're going to go ahead and stay through the action. There's 38 seconds left to go in the half. Third down and 10. Coach Barrows maybe feeling like we can get the ball back. Maybe we can make some things happen and get some points on the board.
And I like that. That's an aggressive call. That's an aggressive coach there. You maybe even be able to get a turnover right here and possibly get a touchdown.
Hey, you can't take the timeouts with you, so you might as well go ahead and take them. They were at halftime, so.
I like your thinking, Reggie.
Why not, man?
I like your thinking.
I appreciate that, brother. Once again, beautiful day here in Memphis, Tennessee. Just a beautiful time to play football. It's been a very hot summer here in the South, so anytime you get a day like this with mild temperatures, you get the fans out. You see a few umbrellas here and there.
Really nice crowd. The band is getting ready to come up. And just to have some final scores, Slippery Rock defeating Kentucky State 38-31, and Elizabeth State defeating Central State 19-10. Just some updated stats there, some updated scores, excuse me.
Slippery Rock, they're hard to hold on to. They got the win. That was a pun. Wasn't a very good one. We're going to keep it moving. 38 seconds left to play in the half. I definitely need a halftime coming up here. Ogla out of the shotgun once again. He's just going to hand it off to Rucker. Rucker is going to get a huge chunk of yards. Did I say he wasn't a playmaker? Because he's making plays now. He gets up the sideline rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, finally knocked out at the 30-yard line. Large chunk of yards there.
And that run might be coming back as there's laundry on the field.
What do you know? What do you know? The referees see something in the backfield, and they're going to be bringing this one back. And that's good for Lane, because that judging, that's going to be holding on Lincoln University. Judging by that kick we saw earlier from their kicker, they were just about in field goal range. So that's a huge penalty for Lincoln, and Coach Smith can't be excited about that.
And what a bold call from the offensive coordinator to call another run out of the timeout there. And, man, dude just broke down on the sideline and, like you said, got in field goal range.
Yeah, I don't know how much the hold really did there, because once he got past there, maybe the hold is what got him past there, but yeah, he picked up a large chunk of yard. Reminds me of a young Natron Means. Go Google Natron Means. And wow, Maryland, Texas. Yeah, Maryland beat Texas in college football today. So Texas fall. That's a big loss there. That's a big upset early on in the year. And speaking of making plays, here's Ogla with the snap, and he's just going to go down. That's 22 seconds left on the clock. It looks like they're just content with going into halftime with this 10-7 lead. And that's exactly what they're going to do. 10 seconds on the clock. 10-7 is your lead right now. Lincoln University on top. Got to be feeling pretty good about yourself if you're Lane College. You gave up some early points, and then you put the stone wall up on defense, and they had nowhere to go. You had one big play on offense. You definitely want to get that offense moving smoothly. But going into halftime right now, 10-7 is the score. Lincoln University Blue Tigers 10, Lane College Dragons 7. We're going to take about a 2-minute break here, and then we're going to come back with some halftime stats and some banter here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. man, what an interesting first half. I'm looking at some of these stats, and I mean, it pretty much, look at the stats here. It pretty much sums up what we saw in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
Run some of them down for us, Deshawn. By the way, let me introduce myself. I feel like we invited you into our house, and we didn't even say our names. Reginald Walker Jr., your play-by-play man for the Lane College football Dragons, joined by Deshawn Mitchell. Deshawn, like the mustard.
Like the mustard. That is correct.
That's a great intro, by the way.
Well, once again, everybody, my name is Deshawn Mitchell, and it looks like both the teams are equally on the ground and passing. I want to say on the passing yards right now, well, Lincoln actually having 49 in the air, Lane having 87. They had that deep ball for a touchdown. And then when we go to the rushing, let me get it here.
That's what bothers me when I look at Lane's rushing. Because it felt like early on they were getting some dents into that Blue Tigers defense, but as you look, 12 carries for 1 yard.
Yep.
And a lot of that has to do with that bad snap that Reynolds tried to recover from, so a lot was lost there. But you got to have more than 1 yard rushing. And if you're Coach Derek Burrows, you almost got to be thankful that the score is what it is, considering you only have 1 yard rushing.
Yep. And we have seen some third down conversions. You know, with Lincoln actually having converted 2 out of 8 of their third down conversions, and Lane only completing 1 out of 4. So we talk about third down conversions too, because we've seen penalties. I think some of that came from our third downs being very long. You're seeing a lot of 3rd and 22, a lot of 3rd and 15. And when you get to those type of, yardage, it's hard to convert.
I'm glad you brought up penalties, man. 5 penalties for 70 yards. That is a large chunk of yardage you're losing based on penalties, and that's for Lincoln. But then right on the other side, Lane, 6 penalties for 75 yards. So I think if I had to pick an MVP of the first half, it would be the refs. The officials, man, because they're working out. They're getting more action throwing the football in both teams. But that's not to take away anything from the offensive or the defense on both sides. The defensive units on both sides have really stepped up, especially in that second quarter of play.
We have seen a couple of turnovers here by both teams. But what's interesting is seeing the play calling by both coordinators offensively. I've been actually loving to see them saying, you know what, if it's not fixed, if it
ain't broke,
don't fix it.
See, you were trying to do it all proper, like saying if it isn't broke.
Yeah, if it is.
That's not the way we grew up saying it. I know you from Cali, I'm from Memphis, but you know if it ain't broke.
If it ain't.
Don't fix. I think ain't should be in the Webster's. I love ain't. Ain't just moves the sentence along. And you're right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm trying to go back down the field in the second half. Out of the gate, I'm coming and I'm stretching the field. I'm at least testing them.
Oh, yeah.
You got to put it in the back of the defensive mind. You got to keep those safeties honest. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly what they're going to do in the second half. I could be wrong again, but that's what we do, prognosticate. We try to predict what the coaches are going to do. Right now, the bands are on the field doing their thing. I believe that's Lincoln University, the Blue Tigers band, and that young man just did a split. The last split I did, I want to say I was about 6 years old, and I had to be carried off. So you can only imagine what that's like now. The Lane College Dragons marching band getting ready to hit the field right after this. There's 13 minutes left to go at halftime.
Reggie, I want to take a time to shout out to our WLCD mass communication program. We've been out here since early this morning setting. I think we got out here at about 10:30, and it takes a lot of preparation. We have to set up, and we have to do audio check and video check, and you have to give credit to and these are students who are doing it, and it's been hot, and they came out here and set up, and man, it's just a beautiful production to be able to be up here, and it's a blessing to be up here with Reggie.
And that's how you give a shout out. That's how you get brownie points with your peers, shouting them out. You know what I mean? And I love it because when I was in college, I did similar things. I worked for WLJT at University of Tennessee at Martin, and a lot of beautiful bonds and friendships were built through that. And you're right. Pre-game setup, it's thankless and nobody pays attention, but they're getting it on the air and they're streaming. And if you're listening on 105.3, you can listen there, but they're going to be streaming. They're going to be showing this later on your station, right?
Yeah, we'll be showing it later. Also have to give a shout out to Coach Ogden that's up here, giving us the stats and giving us the pre-game of where everyone is from. And You know, that's actually big, and that's always been a cool accolade to have, is to know where people are coming from. Just seeing that, you know, even the Memphis natives, people from California, people from Florida, people from Georgia, you know, always having somebody working. It's always somebody doing some type of work to get it done for preparation. So that's always a good blessing.
A lot of unsung heroes bringing you this broadcast once again back at the studios at the Fox Sports Jackson studios. We appreciate you there as well. As a matter of fact, let's take another about a 2-minute break. Let us get a chance to regather ourselves. There's about 11 minutes left to go in halftime, so we're going to take another 2-minute break here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. You're listening to Lane College Football.
All right, and welcome back to the broadcast. Memphis, Tennessee, as we elect a kickoff by Pena. And this is the start of the second half, with Lane trailing 7-10 to Lincoln. And we had an interesting first half. Should have a good second half.
I like that we keep using the word interesting because this is the Bluff City Classic. I keep saying the Bluff City Classic. That's where I grew up watching in basketball. It's the Bluff City kickoff. And we're here live at Halle Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. You're listening to 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. And you said it, the first kickoff of the second half, Pena boots it out of the end zone. So that's where the Lincoln University Blue Tigers will be taking up on offense, and Agla, who had a very, very good first half, throwing the football for Lincoln University. 6 for 15, 49 yards, 1 touchdown, the longest play, 18 yards. He was sacked twice, though, and that's the key, pressure on the quarterback.
Pressure is key. Pressure has been a big thing, you know, especially in that second quarter. Like I said, the first quarter, it seemed like it was a little chess game of seeing what they were going to do. And they said, you know what, we see what we're doing, and we're going to attack.
I feel like Coach Stephen Smith for Lincoln had a really good play calling half for his first half here after being named the 22nd head coach of the Blue Tigers last December. He's coached at Tennessee State before, so it's kind of a mini homecoming back into the Volunteer State.
Back into the Tennessee area.
All right, offense on the field looking to get something going. The Lane Dragons defense trying to keep up that momentum that they established in the second quarter of play. Agla back in the shotgun for the Blue Tigers. He has 2 wideouts, and there's another blitz coming, and it was very effective as the corner comes off the side. That was number 37 with the tackle. That was Willett, and we've been saying his name quite a bit today.
And Christian Willett, I believe he's a junior. He's another Memphis native here. Memphis native here, and he's done a really good job. He's a DB, so I'm pretty sure he's coming on a blitz, coming with some pressure.
Out of Germantown High School in the Memphis area, and he has a lot of folks here. I saw some people clapping down there, and sometimes that's that extra little adrenaline. That's that battery in your back turning you into the Energizer Bunny. When you got family and friends here checking you out, it can definitely light a spark.
Definitely.
So now we're looking at 2nd and 12 here for the Blue Tigers. Agla surveying the field, checking out the defense. He receives the snap out of the shotgun, throws it. The ball is tipped, but it's still caught, and not much yardage there for the receiver after the catch. It was a beautiful catch, but he picks up about 4 yards on the play. That was Blake Tibbs with the reception.
And I like what Burroughs is doing. He's actually, I think Christian Willett is like that. Can't remember what it's called, but he's that fire guy. He's coming from the left and coming from the right as a DB, and Burroughs is sending them every play.
And apparently it looks like he's leaving it up to the player, which you don't see that a lot in college football, but he's making wise choices. That means his football IQ is very high.
Yep.
Blue Tigers coming to the line, trips on the right side, 1 back in the backfield. Looks like Franklin, the big back next to Agla. Agla receives the snap, looks downfield, looks over the middle. He's getting swarmed. He comes out of the pocket. He tucks it. He's running. He picks up some yardage. Looks like he's got a first down before he's tackled there by number 23 for Lane.
And that was a good job by the quarterback this time. And he read the man coverage. You know, everybody's going up the field. Everybody's following his man. He tucks the ball, and he runs for a first down.
Darius Boone with the tackle there, saving some more yards from happening, but the chains moved regardless. And Agla just looking real comfortable. Anytime you make his feet move, I guess that's any quarterback. You make him uncomfortable, he doesn't look as good. But when you give him time, savviness, he's been looking pretty good in the pocket. He approaches the line of scrimmage again, getting his offense set up, checking out the defense. Looks like it's a 4-3 setup there. And could be another blitz coming for the Dragons. The ball is snapped. Nope, they're coming. And there's a fumble on the field. It is recovered by the Dragons. That is number 33 on the recovery, Cameron Brown out of Atlanta, Georgia. And a good job by the Lane Dragons applying pressure. And Agla, I gave him the props. That time he was unable to sustain it.
Cameron Brown, good job of finding the ball. Cameron Brown is a senior now, and he's been able to find the ball a couple of times this game. And what a turnover. They needed that.
That's a shot in the arm right after halftime. On defense, on the defensive, get the ball back. Beautiful job there by the Dragons, especially sending all that pressure to Agla.
So what do you think we see here, Reggie? Are we going to see some run?
I would like to see the run a little bit more to establish the run and didn't stretch the field, but who knows? Reynolds, the senior quarterback, we'll see what coach calls right here. He's in the shotgun. He has a receiver in motion, and he drops back the pass to lefty, looking downfield. Nobody's there. He decides to come out of the pocket. He gets to the sideline, trying to turn the corner, but not before he's pulled out of bounds after about a 2-yard gain. I'm being generous there.
About a 2-yard gain. I would have actually liked to see him throw it there. You know, he seen a hole and he took it. You know, he took off. But I would like to see him throw it there. He had a couple of guys.
The eyes were downfield. I think sometimes with offense, especially with passing, you have to let the play develop. And when you start feeling that pressure around you, you got to get out of the pocket if you feel like you're going to get that sack. So he picked up a couple of yards, or 1 yard, 2nd down and 9 to go. 12-12 left to play in the third quarter. Lane Dragons on the attack offensively. Reynolds surveying the defense. He's going to receive the snap. Throws out into the flat, and a dropped pass there by the receiver, and a lot of angry people in the coach's box for the Dragons, because that play worked to perfection if the receiver holds on to the ball. That was number 15, Grigsby.
And I don't know if he heard footsteps, which could have caused the drop pass, but you know, you got to catch the ball. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. You got to catch the ball, man.
You don't want to get hit, you got to put these headphones on and come up here to the booth. That's what I learned as a youngster.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, trying to capitalize on this momentum here. You want to try to get some yardage to get closer in field goal range for Pena. Not sure of his, his range, but you definitely want to try to get closer, at least attempt the field goal. Runner in motion, that's Hampton in motion. Reynolds receives the snap. Once again, looking, doesn't see anybody this time. He keeps it himself, and he is gone up the right side. He tucks it, and he picks up the first down and then some. Nice play there by the senior quarterback.
I really love that play from Marcus Reynolds. Why? It's because all of the linebackers and everybody dropped back so deep, which gave him the opportunity to say, you know, I'm going to tuck it, and I'm going to run with it.
And a good job there by Reynolds picking up. You got to move the chains by any means necessary. You can try to get cute with your play calling and try to do this and that, but at the end of the day, moving the football is what football is all about. If that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense.
All right, Reynolds out of the shotgun, joined by his back in the backfield. He hands it off to number 8. And once again, that is Joshua Jeffrey. J.J. Dynamite picks up a nice chunk of yards there and getting closer to the end zone.
And I tell you what, this linebacker, Amani Nelson out of Indianapolis, he's only 5'8" and 219 as a linebacker, but I've seen him a lot of times come up in a hole, step up, and make some good tackles.
Flying to the football. I mean, size matters in football, but when you got that heart and you have that motor that keeps on running, you put those guys in key positions, and they usually can make things happen. All right, 2nd down and about 9 to go. Didn't pick up as many yards as I thought. Out of the shotgun, Reynolds set to receive the snap. He gets the snap. Once again, the play action. Oh, the ball is fumbled. It's on the ground. Not sure who has it. Lincoln is saying that they have the ball, and the officials agree. A turnover there right inside the 20-yard line. That stings for the Dragons quite a bit.
And what a turn of events this time. Lincoln fumbles, then Lane fumbles.
What you see on that play, John?
What I see on that play, you know, anytime you have a read, you know, you can't be indecisive. You cannot be indecisive on the reads. It's either you're going to give it or you're going to tuck it. And that time I think he was indecisive. because the end actually crashed down that time, and he wanted to pull it, and he ended up fumbling the ball.
Yeah, and you're right. When you have that much traffic and that many footsteps and that much dirt and all that stuff flying, you got to be concise with your deliveries, and unable to do that on that play. So 2 turnovers. The defense is still ringing true in the second half. They're carrying it over from the second quarter of play.
Got to have a good mesh. That's called a mesh. Have a good mesh.
Oh, thank you for those football lingo terms. I did not. Ogden with the pass over the middle, bubble screen there for the receiver, and he has broken away, and he is up the sideline. That is the 40. That is the 30. He stays in bounds until about the 30, the 28-yard line. Nice play there by the Blue Tigers. Number 8, Blake Tibbs, once again making his presence felt.
And I tell you what, that was a good blocking scheme there from the lineman from Lincoln. You know, those guards and those tackles are wrapping around and, you know, allowing the receiver to catch the ball and get upfield.
I'm a Peyton Manning fan, so I watched the Indianapolis Colts a lot during their heyday, and that bubble screen was a signature of Manning, and I think Tom Brady does it pretty well too. When it's executed to perfection, you get big, large chunks like that, and Lincoln's rolling right now. Ogla picking up another large chunk of yards. He's out of the shotgun once again. This time he's going to hand it off to his back, Jeffries. He has nowhere to go. Excuse me, I said Jeffries. That's Franklin. He has nowhere to go.
Did we get a fumble? We have a couple of lane defenders pointing to the other way.
27.
Doesn't look like we have a change of possessions. We have a man down on the field. We have an injury timeout. The officials are going to take a timeout. As a matter of fact, it's 9:49 left to go in the third quarter of play. So we're going to take a 1-minute break ourselves here as we tend to the player on the field. 9:49 left to go. 10-7 is your score. Lincoln University on top. You're listening to 105.3 Jackson. Josiah Brooks, he gets up on his own and walks off the field on his own strength, and that's always a good sign. With the left, looks like we're going to go ahead and pick it up second down and 9 now to play. Lincoln University marching the ball down the field. The quarterback, Ogla, has looked good all day long. I've said his last name so much, but Henry Ogla is doing a good job, and now he receives the snap. He throws it out in the flat again, that tough pass, that out route, as he finds number 8. That's Mr. Tibbs, and that seems to be his number 1 guy.
Yeah, Mr. Tibbs, he's been able to make some really outstanding catches over there on the sideline, and they like those little option routes, those little sideline routes. It's just a simple, quick catch and release.
I think it's called taking what the defense gives you, and
Yep.
all day long Lane is giving them that
Yep.
out route, and
Yep.
they're taking advantage of it.
Well, you know, when you're playing 5 to 6 yards off, it allows the offensive coordinator to say, you know what, hey, we're going to just throw a quick hitch.
Well, 3rd down and 1. Let's see if they can keep the chains moving here. I'm looking for a run. Got a bunch at the line, and that's what they do. And look at Lane with the swarming tackle. 2 players for the price of 1. That's number 33, Cameron Brown, and also number 9 on that tackle, Travis Streeter. That's the name you wanted to talk about.
And those are 2 big guys, 2 important guys on the defense that I always said, you know, they're going to be the heart. And if those 2 can find a way this season, this defense could be something special.
Man, that was a beautiful play call by the defense there. They knew exactly what Lincoln wanted to run, and they stopped it on a dime. And it looks like the field goal unit is coming out onto the field for the Blue Tigers. We've already seen a 44-yard field goal. This is a pretty long one here, too, isn't it? And that is number 19 for Lincoln, set to knock it through. That's a Ramirez. That's what he does. And that's right. There's a block. Hey, man, everybody's on point. Defense and special teams wins football games. What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh, that was great. That was Kenneth Williams, the senior out of Memphis, Tennessee. Again, I'm telling you, this guy is a special player. You know, I watched him a lot last season, and I honestly think he's one of those DBs that has a chance, man, of going pro.
Going to that next level. And you said it, very, very soft-spoken young man, but there was a saying, walk softly and carry a big stick. And, yeah, that was a beautiful play there by Williams.
And you have to love those effort type of blows. Those type of plays can change the dynamic of a game.
They sure can, and if you're Lane right now, this is where you want to capitalize on offense. You just got to have the best offensive plan possible. All the adjustments that you made at halftime, you have to apply them here. 7:33 left to go in the third quarter. Play the score is still 10-7. Lincoln on top, but Lane has some momentum. Their senior quarterback Reynolds out of the shotgun. We got a receiver in motion on the left side, and now we have trips on the left. Let's see if that's where they're going. He's looking left. He's looking over the top. There's nobody there. He comes out of the pocket, scrambling, chased by the end, nowhere to go. He gets to the sideline and gets out of bounds. Very smart move there by the senior.
And Coach Burrows is showing he still has some moves as he ducked out of the way. They ran right to him, and Burrows moved right out the way, man. I think he still got it.
I think Burrows, if he didn't have on that jersey that said Lane, he might have tried to make the tackle right there. It's like he had a flashback right quick.
He's laughing with it with his players. They're talking about it.
He's got to be feeling good. They're still in the ball game. They know they've shot themselves in the foot with some penalties. If they just have a clean drive, anything is possible. On that particular play, great job by the Lincoln defense because there was nobody open downfield. Yeah. Reynolds one more time getting his offense set. He has Dubs to the left. Receiver in motion. I believe it's Hampton. Reynolds gets the snap. Looking for Hampton on a bubble screen. They're going to try to run their own, but there's nobody there, but he's going to try to make it happen on his own. That's what he does. He breaks to the right side, ends up getting out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down, and we got another flag. I don't know if it's a late hit. We're going to try to stay involved and see what's going on.
It looks like it was some unnecessary roughness. It looked like Makai Grisby out there, and another guy got tangled up. I can't see the number, but they were down by the 30-yard line, on the sideline on Lincoln's end, tussling.
Wow, and it looked like Isaac, and I see Isaac was a little frustrated as well coming off the sideline. Once again, you got to keep your composure. Every time there's a big play, you look up, and there's a flag on the field because somebody lost their cool.
And after a big play, this is what we talked about at halftime. You know, it's these big plays and these flags that's really killing.
So we definitely have a personal foul situation as the officials get everything sorted out. The ball is being marched back. They're trying to sort out where the exact spot is, and anytime you see the striped shirts trotting back to your own goal line is usually never a good sign, and that's a huge play right there. 6:30 left to go in the quarter. Ball's going to be spotted at the 15-yard line. So that's a 15-yard loss there after a first down gain. So you're talking about a 25-yard loss.
Well, they got to get something back rolling here.
2nd and 23 coming up. Let's see if they can just get some more movement. It looks like that's the game plan for the Dragons right now. Get the ball to your best athletes and let them create an open space, and so far that's been working. Reynolds receives the snap out of the gun. Surveying the field, looks right to left. Still looking for a man. He's going to put some air under. He's just going to get it out of bounds. Smart play. He had a man there. He had Hampton on the left side again, but a good job by the defender for Lincoln University. I believe that's number 10. Hassan Muhammad Rogers, the safety, did a really good job.
And give credit to this Lincoln secondary, man. They've been able to keep the receivers in front of them, which is making Marcus have a hard time of finding his guys.
Yep, all except one time, and that one time was a 74-yard bomb. And I believe their secondary coach is probably telling them, don't ever let that happen again, at least not today.
They've kept them in front. I haven't seen anybody get behind.
All right, we got 3rd down coming up. Lane looking for a huge chunk of yards here. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 23, I believe. It's pretty far. 3rd and 26, 5:59 left to go. Let's see what they can pull out of the hat here. Going to definitely need some magic. Magic Dragons. And there we go. There is a run play up the middle there by number 8. That's Joshua Jeffrey. He picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Not much there. They're going to be forced to punt. So all that momentum we talked about was kind of squandered on that one penalty.
Yeah. And like I said, we talked about this at halftime. You know, after the big play and having them brought back into these long third down conversions where you have to try to get it on 3rd and 23 and 3rd and 26. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever played Madden, you know what that's like. Might as well. I always go for it on 4th down, though. That's how I lose so much. Pena with the punt. Beautiful punt there. He gets a lot of air up under it. He also gets some distance. They're going to be returning it, and that's a nice tackle there by the special teams unit for the Dragons. Number 6 tries to return. He picks up about 7 to 8 yards there. Johnny Johnson, the sophomore out of Reseda, California. They're going to flip sides of the field. I mean, they're going to change possessions now. Yep. What does Lane's defense have to do? They just have to hold on strong, right?
Lane's have to just continue doing what they've done the last couple of series. You know, if you're going to bend, don't break. Force some turnovers. Play with 100% effort. And go after it. Go after it. Know your assignment. Key in on your assignment. Go after it.
Hey, I love that. You had like 4 cliche quotes in there, man, and they all worked. He said, give it 100%. Yeah. Make sure you go out there and you just don't bend, don't break. And just no I in team. Hey, you did a good job, brother.
It is.
You hit all of them at one time.
Hey, defense.
You got to save those for the 4th quarter. What else are we going to talk about? Bend, don't break. That was a good one. You broke it out already.
There it is.
All right, but you're absolutely right about the defense, man. Right now, it reminds me of a pitcher's duel. After you take away that first quarter, It's been a pitcher's duel, and it's just strike after strike after strike, out after out. And Agla trying to put a dent in the scoreboard, and he does it nicely on that first possession as he finds Tibbs on the left side for a nice play. Picks up about 7 yards on the play.
Now, Reggie, I'm looking, in the last couple of series on 1st down, they've thrown to that out route, that quick dump to the out.
So what adjustments need to be made on defense? So you're bringing up the –
I would like to bring my corner up a little bit. The corner is playing about 5 to 6 yards off. Bring him up just a smidget. Just a smidget to where he can, he might be able to run up on that out route, take it for 6.
You're right. Jump the route, and hopefully he doesn't get you on a hitch and go. Agla telling his receiver to come in a little bit inside the numbers. Agla receives the snap. He's looking downfield. He sidesteps one defender, can't sidestep the second one, number 92 on the play. Good job there by the big defender making his presence felt.
And as you can see, Reggie, this time we had the corners playing up on the receivers. So it makes the quarterback a little bit uncomfortable with the pressure. He's not able to be relaxed and just get it out of his hand. He has to wait for the play to develop.
Bryce McKenzie with the sack there, and beautiful job. We've called his name quite a bit today. Yeah. So 95, 92, they've been making some things happen, making some defensive substitutions now because you know they're going to try to throw the football, and you got to be looking for that outright over there. I'm blanketing Tibbs on that left side, and that's exactly where Tibbs is, and he is guarded closely by number 19. Agla drops back the pass. He tries to get rid of it, and that is a fumble. It is picked up by number 92, and he could go all the way. Touchdown, Lane Dragons.
Oh, and they're talking right now.
And there's a flag thrown late, which I don't understand how late that flag is thrown. I think they're going to call intentional grounding on the quarterback. Because as he dropped back the pass, he saw that heat coming there for number 92. Once again, that was Bryce McKenzie. And he saw the heat coming. He just threw it into the ground. That's intentional grounding. 4th down, so no touchdown on the play, but still great defense there by the Dragons.
And Bryce is tapping his helmet. He said, man, give me a sub. Give me a sub.
The big man expended a lot of energy on that run. It would have been nice to see him get rewarded, but still, Johnny on the spot. Nobody is ever going to question effort, and that's exactly what McKenzie did there.
Loss of down, right? Yes. All right, spotted it.
So that'll be 4th down coming up now, and the pressure has really been turned up by the Dragons football team.
It's such a great game right now, man. I'm loving it's so much defense out there. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, if you're a fan of offense, you're not having much fun today, but everybody else is having a good old time. The punt is on the way for the Blue Tigers. It is fielded at the 25-yard line there. Fair catch is called. It looks like the Dragons are going to take over on offense. So once again, pitching, putting up goose eggs, as we say in baseball.
Wow, that turn of events there, right? I'm
I
still
see you still trying. You're still processing. I can tell.
because that touchdown would have just changed the atmosphere. You already heard the crowd just going crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, even without the touchdown, just that momentum of putting the quarterback, putting Agla on the ground again. This young man, since the first, he still made some good plays throughout the game, but putting him on the ground as much as you have from the second quarter on is brilliant. 3:24 left to go in the third quarter of play. Lane offense back on the attack now, trying to breathe some fire, so to speak. Reynolds finds his man Hampton. Hampton catches the spin out of a tackle, unable to do it, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much there because, well, the Blue Tigers are swarming as well.
You know what? I like this linebacker, Amani Nelson. I've said his name a couple of times. He plays with a lot of passion, and he might have that Napoleon syndrome because he's short. But you know what? He plays with a lot of heart, and I've seen him run to the ball. And that's
Right.
how a linebacker position should be played.
All right, let's see if they can get maybe some adjustments can be made on offense because I think they need to try to stretch the field. Reynolds puts Hampton in motion. We got trips on the left side. Reynolds gets the shotgun snap. He looks over the middle of the field. He's going down. He's going deep. Puts it up. It wobbles, and it's eventually knocked down there by the cornerback for the Lincoln Blue Tigers. That is number 24 with the great defense, Thomas Burden.
And we have a guy down from Lane. That's Contavious Wilson.
Wilson back up off the field. He's on the sideline now. I like them trying to stretch the field, though. It wasn't the best throw there by Reynolds, but it puts it in the secondary's head that we are willing to go down there if he gets some time, and he did get some time on that play.
We didn't really get to see the full throttle of that throw because he was hit,
Right.
which changed the
trajectory.
Yeah, there you go.
It's another one of those college words. Those college words I'm still paying for. Shout out to student loans.
Student loans, gotta love them, right?
So as long as I'm paying them, I'm gonna keep using these words.
Shout out to Obama for student loan forgiveness.
Better watch those shout outs on him. All right. Hey, Reynolds gets the shotgun snap. He steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go. He's still looking downfield. He is scrambling, still on his feet, making people miss left and right. Tells his receiver to go down. He throws it up. And it's tipped away on the sideline. Great defense there by the corner. Number 7 for Lincoln. That is Victor Williams, and Compton, California representing there. Yay, yay.
And I tell you what, Marcus this guy is unbelievable. I told you he can extend the play, and what he's looking like a little Michael Vick out there.
It was very Vickish. It was very Vickish to make. I saw so many defenders laying on the ground after he got done. So
he made two of the Lincoln defenders run into each other.
yeah. So, but even with all the excitement there, 2:27 left to go.
Yeah.
The defense another stop. So the offenses are. It's almost looking like a replay of 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Pena with the punt. It's high, not that long. Looks like it will be returned. No, a fair catch is called at the 40-yard lines, and that's where the Blue Tigers will be taking over from on offense.
And Pena, I seen Pena kind of clap his hands there afterwards after that punt. He wanted to put it a little bit further down, but I like that punt there. Put him behind the 50.
He's one of the unsung heroes for today. Pena has been actually kicking the ball well, putting his team, because it's going to be a field possession game.
Yeah.
And right now, we've seen with the range of the Blue Tigers kicker with a 44-yard kick early on. So you definitely want to make sure you tilt the field as much in your team's favor as possible, and Pena's doing his job at that.
We've seen some good special teams play, like you said, and I just got to add, Pena reminds me of Sebastian Janikowski, man, the way he's built. I'm a Raider fan, so
Yeah, okay.
he's built like Sebastian.
Loving those Vegas Raiders?
Oh, man, they're coming.
Hey, Ogler with the snap. He's going downfield, stretching the field. He's looking for Tibbs, and he will not find him. He will find a lane defender, and that, my friends, is number 19, Randall Johnson, with the pick out of West Point, Mississippi. That's another turnover, and defense is ruining the day.
And what a sigh of relief for number 19, Randall Johnson. He's had a couple of those dump passes we've been talking about on the outside. They've been going at his side a lot. And they tried to go to his side deep on a deep ball and got an interception.
And that was nice. And you see the Lane fans on this side are excited because the players are telling them to get up. We need that energy. We need that momentum. Going to Tibbs, they might have went to the well one too many times with Tibbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another thing. When you find out who a quarterback's number one target is, it's up to you as the defense to make the adjustment and shut that guy down and make somebody else beat you. And that's exactly what they did there. Beautiful interception there by Randall Johnson.
26.
Hey, it gives this offense another chance right out of the gate. So right now, if you're Reynolds, you're feeling pretty good after those offensive moves that you made before. Let's see if they can capitalize now. You got trips on the left side, one receiver to the right. This time Reynolds is going to keep it himself. They're going to keep the ball in the hands of their best player, and so far so good. It works out. He picks up 6 yards on the first run.
Reggie, I would say if I'm the offense, I'm trying to score this drive. The defense have done their job by holding their grounds, creating turnovers, and as an offense, we have to try to get it in the end zone.
They sure do, and I just think that's the smart play. Keep it in Reynolds' hands and just let him create, because all the best plays today have come courtesy of his feet and his arms. Trips again on the left side, one back in the backfield. Low snap, Reynolds gets it to Jeffrey, and he is going up the right side. He picks up the first down, and I see another flag on the field.
Another flag after a good play.
So that's probably going to be holding. I'm not going to try to jump to conclusions, but I believe that is going to be a hold, and that's usually what is going on and it is. It's a hold on lane, so that's going to come back 10 more yards, and you just got to be disciplined. And I'm weird about the whole hold situation, because you could call a hold on every single play in football.
You know what it is, Reggie? It's those blatant holds. It's
Right.
the ones that the refs can see automatically, like that isn't hold, and you try to stay inside the frame and try not to get too far outside. Once you get outside the shoulder pad area,
Yeah.
they're going to call it every time.
Every time. As a matter of fact, we have a player down on the field now. We have 1 minute and 34 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Let's go ahead and take this looks like he's going to be down for a second. They're getting him up. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. Let's take a 30-second break there back in the studio. You're listening to Lane College Football live here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. And we are back to live action here at Halle Stadium for the Bluff City kickoff between the Lane Dragons and the Lincoln University Blue Tigers. The kickoff did not go very far, so it looks like Lane will be taking over on defense, trying to stay stout against this Blue Tiger offense, which, man, since the end of the first quarter, nothing but praise for the Dragons defense.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to give credit to the defense. Got to give credit to where it's due. And I just hope they continue it here as Lincoln has the football, and they're trying to march in.
And this is that field position game we talked about. Very good field position for the Blue Tigers right now as they take the ball, take over at the, what is it, the 43-yard line. Ogla out of the shotgun, receives the snap. Hands it off to number 25, Rucker. He goes absolutely nowhere, and that's Terry Hunter, who's had a couple of big plays called back because they've had just as many penalties as Lane today.
And that was Johnny Russell, the linebacker, 6'2", 240, redshirt junior. That's another Memphis, Tennessee native.
Memphis, Tennessee is representing very well on the Lane Dragons side today, and I don't think it's a coincidence that these players are playing so good in front of the hometown.
Oh, yeah. Once again, we talked about gap control and gap assignment. You know, it's so pivotal on these run plays.
Dragons hustling off the field. They get a brand new defensive allotment in there. Looks like we're in a 5-2. No, they're still in the 4-3 there. Ogla out of the spread offense there, out of the shotgun. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He looks over the middle, finds a receiver, and that is a complete pass to, I can't pick up the number, but the Lane Dragons gang tackle him right before he gets to the first down mark. It's like 15 there, and that is Steve Henderson. I believe that's his first catch of the day. I haven't said his name.
Yeah. And what a strong, he had a little yak after that. He caught the ball, and he was able to hold on for the first down, drug a couple of defenders for maybe 2 to 3 yards.
And that was a Johnson, Johnson, that's the second time I've called his name today. He had a couple of kickoff returns as well, but that was a nice reception over the middle, not showing any fear. And he's not the biggest guy in the world, 5'6", 162. You talked about being a slot receiver going over that middle. You got to have some gumption to pull that off.
My coach used to always say, you're going to get hit. Catch the ball.
And I believe we have another timeout on the field. And if they're taking a timeout on the field, we're going to take a timeout on the air. We're not going to keep you here. That's going to be a timeout on Lincoln's side. We're going to take another 1-minute break. There's 13 minutes left to go in the ball game. 10-7 is your score. Lincoln University on top. We'll be right back here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. Great job by the Lane Dragons defense there on 3rd and 1, stuffing the line and keeping the Blue Tigers from achieving that first down marker. Now we're coming up with 4th down and 1 to go, and it looks like, oh, they're going for it.
Oh, yeah, you have to go for it here. You know, you're in your territory, good field position. Why not? It's 4th and 1.
12:45 left to go in the ball game. You're up by 3 points. If you're Lincoln, you're right. Why not give it a shot? Even though I'm pretty sure that guy hit a field goal from there earlier. It's a little bit longer than the 44 yards before. But they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. This is a big play in the game. Big play in the 4th. The ball is snapped. Agla hands it off to the running back, and he is stopped once again. Call it Stonewall Jackson, because it was a Stonewall. The team's from Jackson. You get what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
That is a 4th down stop for the Lane Dragons defense, who is the MVP on the game today for me.
Oh my goodness gracious, I love to see that downhill. And man, I tell you something, boy.
And Coach Burrow's face on the sideline, it's amazing when you can see it from the press box. He is proud of these young men and the effort they're putting forth. And now the offense, we've been saying it all day. I think this is it. This might be the moment where we finally see them break out and get some momentum, because that was a huge play by the defense to keep points off the board. Reynolds up under center, out of the shotgun, the senior, trying to make some things happen for this offense. Let's see what the Blue Tigers defense has in store. Right now, Reynolds is going to keep the ball. He's breaking it up the middle. He stiff arms one player. He goes down around the 40-yard line. Great run there by the quarterback.
And that was a good play there, and the ball came out at the end. I was just getting ready to say, make sure right now you secure the football. Hold on to the ball.
Secure the football. You see Hampton coming off the field now. Isaac coming back on. And I think Reynolds needs a little break right there. Reynolds is checking off the field. So now the second quarterback is coming on the field right now. That is number 12, Michael Huntley, giving Reynolds a little break.
Yeah, a little face mask or helmet trouble there. That's why he's getting fixed up on the sideline.
All right, way to be on Johnny on the spot, De-Jon. Huntley now, he's in the shotgun. He gets the snap. He's going to keep the ball. Nice move in the backfield to avoid one tackle, and just that little bit there, he's able to achieve picking up about 2 or 3 yards. So nice play there by Huntley.
And look who's around the play for Lincoln again. That's number 1, Amani Nelson, the linebacker, the 5'8" linebacker in the mix.
He has been very impressive out of Indianapolis, Indiana. He has been very impressive with some of the plays that he's making. But right now, I'm more impressed with the Dragons capitalizing on momentum, not having any silly penalties either, bringing back their big plays. Now they're back on offense, 2 wideouts, split, 1 running back in the backfield. Reynolds gets the ball, hands it off to Jeffrey. JJ takes it up the sideline, and he picks up a big chunk of yardage, but there's another flag. And yeah, you pick up the first down there, but it looks like it's going to come back.
I just can't believe it. Another holding call. It's like,
yep, it's going to be holding on the Dragons, so another momentum stopper. Shooting yourselves in the foot, man. Every time you take 2 steps forward, you take 3 back, and that's just not conducive to winning football.
and we've seen some great runs, and it seems like every time there's a great run, it's some laundry on the field.
And the hold is one of the worst penalties because it's such a big loss. With the net gain and then the net loss, you lose so much.
Yeah.
And right now, if you're the Dragons, you just got to fight through that. You have to fight through it. You have to make another play because usually when that penalty happens, it seems like you're going backwards from then on. And the coaching staff is frustrated. The players are frustrated. But you just got to keep playing football because the clock is still running. 10:33 left to go in the ball game. Reynolds out of the shotgun once again. He has a receiver to his right. He has two to his left. Defense set up in a 4-3. The snap. Reynolds fakes the run, throws underneath. Can't tell if it's caught or not. They're going to call it a reception.
Yes, that was a good catch.
That was a great catch. And he's down right before the stick, so you got some of those yards back. You got about 5 of those yards back.
Man, what a great concentration catch there. I didn't think he was going to be able to hang on. And he hung on even with the defender tussling with him on the ground.
So a nice play, nice pass, nice catch there by Reynolds. And his receiver, you got to get the chemistry going there in the first game of the year. That's good to see. It sets the tone for the rest of the year. 9:45 left to play in the fourth quarter of play. 3rd down and 12 on the way. So another one of those long 3rd and longs, man. You got to try to figure out a way to get this first down. Reynolds receives the snap. He's looking to the right side the whole time. Nothing's there. He decides to break it out. He keeps the ball tucked. His jersey's being pulled. He's not going down easily. Eventually, he is brought down by that Blue Tiger defense.
And once again, Reggie, number 1, Amani Nelson. I'm telling you, this kid has been everywhere. I really just loved – I used to play linebacker.
Right.
And he's been sideline to sideline.
And
you know.
he's definitely made a fan in you and me as well. He's holding his hand right now, so I don't know if trying to bring it up, but he's not coming off the field. And that shows you what a trooper that he is. Pena is back to punt now as the special teams for the Dragons is on the field. 8:55 left to go. 10-7 is your score. Defensive, I don't even want to call it a defensive struggle. I mean, it's been a defensive masterpiece
It's been a game.
on both sides as Pena gets the snap, puts the punt in the air, and it is fielded at the 10-yard line by the Blue Tigers, and they're going to bring it up. And, oh, wow, that was kind of a late play there, and I'm surprised we don't see it. And the one time I think we're going to see a flag, we don't see one. He's knocked out at about the 21-yard line, and that's where Agla and his offense is going to take over for Lincoln University.
I tell you, number 48 right there, he came like a torpedo, boy. And he's pumped up on the sideline, but I think did they throw a flag on that?
I did not see a flag. I have not seen one.
Yeah.
Okay, they did.
Blocking it back.
Blocking the back. There it is. So that's it's a big play. So they're going to knock it back into the 6-yard line now, and that's where they're going to be taking, that's where the Blue Tigers are going to be starting at. So this is a long uphill battle if you're the Tigers, but the clock is on your side. So really all you got to worry about is moving the chains. You stay on the field, you win the ball game. It's that simple. Clock management, game management. Let's see what Coach Smith is going to be able to pull off here for the Tigers.
This is getting down to those key stretches, those key series where everything is starting to become very important down at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, 8:37 left to go. I don't want to be Nostradamus here as we see the snap and the ball is handed off, gets back to the line of scrimmage there for the Lincoln Blue Tigers. I feel like something's about to happen here for the Lane defense, and they're really deep in the territory. It would only be fitting if the defense is the reason that they take the lead here. And I got this weird feeling, man. I'm not one to be a homer or anything like that, but I feel like the defense is about to do something really special. They've been doing something special the entire day.
Well, Reggie, like I said, like we've been saying, defense wins championships. All right, offense wins tickets. All right, now if Lane's defense can do something here and even score, or even just get the ball in this position, the dynamic of the game has changed.
All right, Agla in the shotgun once again, joined by Tucker in the backfield. Agla in his own end zone, looking to pass. He's almost hit. The ball is fluttered over the middle to absolutely no one. Third down is coming up with your back on the goal line if you're the Tigers.
We just talked about it, and we were about either 2 seconds away from either a touchdown or a safety.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too excited because he held on to that ball just a nanosecond longer. It's definitely going to be a change of possession. So now the ball is on the 5-yard line still. Third down and 11 to go. 7:43 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Lane's Dragons defense is feeling really good about themselves right now. They know they're a couple of plays away from swinging momentum once again. Agla out of the gun, drops back, hands it off to the running back. Nowhere to go. He is brought down at the 5-yard line. Hunter had no room to maneuver, and the Dragons defense does their job once again. The special unit's coming on the field, special team unit coming on the field.
Great job there by the Lane defense. You have to give them credit. And offensively, what Lincoln was trying to do is basically that was a safety play to get it out of the back of the end zone. And man, and I didn't get a punt.
Yep, and you're still punting from your goal line, so this is going to be fun there. We have Isaac back. I believe we have Isaac back, Ahmad Isaac.
I will go after this punt. I will go after it here.
Yeah, you got to send the house. They don't. And the punt is up, and he puts some nice little leg under it. Isaac receives it at the 45-yard line. He's going to bring it up. He's picking up some blocks up the middle, and he ends up picking up some yards. But, of course, you know that there's laundry on the field.
And that time, I actually seen some really good blocking there. It was tough to call. Burrows is chewing his guys out right now, but
I guess the officials are trying to, they're trying to get their sea legs about them as well. They're like, if you don't make calls, you don't get better, right? There's been a lot of calls today. And I'm trying to see what this is going to be.
And you can't get too mad at the blockers because usually on special teams you don't see guys blocking at all.
Right.
And they're trying to block, and you just have to make sure you stay in front of the guys.
All right, so illegal block in the back. They're going to take the ball at about the 44-yard line now, and that's where Lane is going to try to get some momentum. So really a good punt considering the circumstances there by Rodriguez. Excuse me, Ramirez.
All right, here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say at
Here
this
we
point.
go again.
I know it's the radio; they don't like dead air, but right
Yeah.
now the defense it's mind-boggling right now. The stops that these teams are making, and let's see if Lincoln can keep it going. Reynolds out of the gun, receives the ball. He's gonna play action fake, roll out to the left, naked bootleg. What a catch there by Hampton! One-handed grab, and he is still on his feet. He's knocked ahead. He picks up about 15 yards on the play. Hampton with one of the best catches you will see in college football today. I don't care what level it's on. Beautiful catch.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. A little Odell out there, man.
Oh, man. And it was over the wrong shoulder when he caught it. So the naked bootleg by Reynolds, nice play action fake, finds his man wide open in the flat. Beautiful catch there by Hampton.
Really good job. Good job there.
Lane, once again, a big momentum play. Let's see if they can string together 3 of these. Reynolds gets the snap, hands it off to Jeffrey. He's gonna rumble, stumble, bumble for 10 yards on the carry, but the ref he threw out that flag so casually. It's almost like reruns. I don't even know if reruns are a thing anymore with streaming services because you can watch the episode wherever you want to. But the rerun keeps happening. Big play and then a flag on the next big play. It's happened so many times today.
Is to a point where they're just holding their flags now, just waiting for them, just waiting to throw them out. That's what it's looking. They just holding the flags. Goodness.
So it's going to be second down after the whole. Okay, well there you have it. We're having a hard time picking up the officials with the mic, so we're not really hearing. So this penalty was actually on Lincoln. So this time the rerun is different. There's a different outcome. And Lane, well, it's 1st and 10, and the officials, they need to talk about it again.
I'm sitting here laughing. The fans are into the game. It's 5 minutes and 40 seconds. They was doing a wave just now. We got our first Lane wave.
Anytime you see a wave, you know that it's either, I don't know what you say. The wave was big in the 80s. I remember seeing that as a child. We got a timeout on the field. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break here while the players gather their breath for the stretch run. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a break here on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. Stay tuned. Reynolds receives the snap. He drops back to pass. He's looking down the field over the middle, and it is picked off at the goal line there by the Blue Tigers. Number 2, Joseph Madrigal. That's what we decided to go with because that was a magical play, apparently, as he picks it off from the goal line. I like the idea. The execution just didn't take place for the Dragons there.
He needed a little bit more air on that throw, Reggie. Just a little bit more air over the top of the safety. He threw it a little low where the safety could come underneath and intercept the ball.
And the ball is at exactly the 1-yard line. He intercepted it. I mean, I guess it's a good spot because they get the ball back, but it's also a great spot for Lane as you see some of their players making the safety symbol above their head saying, let's go after this and let's get it.
And the defense have been able to do a really good job of getting to the quarterback. Let's see if they can do it here, Reggie.
5:15 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Once again, the Blue Tigers are deep into their own territory there. Ball on the 1-yard line. You have to think the Dragons are going to bring the house, trying to maybe get some points on the board because that's the only way you can score. You got to get some points on the board. Agla out of the shotgun, deep into the end zone, and I think a false start. I don't know what we got here. We got laundry on the field. It could have been encroachment. It could have been a false start.
It's like a false start.
and there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
You're on the 1 yard line.
Might have been that right guard, number 73.
He was a little anxious trying to
Yeah,
protect his quarterback.
A little anxious to fire off. Actually, that's a right tackle, excuse me.
So the ball is going to be on the 1 centimeter line. If I'm taking a guess, I don't know where else you can go. Goalpost, or the shadow of the goalpost on your back. Got to be feeling a little pressure here if you're the Lincoln University Blue Tigers, not wanting to make a mistake, because any mistake here could cost you the ball game. 5:13 left to play. The ball is snapped. They hand it to the running back. He barely gets out of the end zone before he's tackled, but he does get out. I think he got about 6 to 7 inches.
And Lane is creating a really good push back. It's making it hard for the offensive lineman to push up.
And what you got to remember, if you're Lincoln, that the clock is on your side in this thing here. You want to try to milk it as much as possible. But, man, being this close, every handoff has to be precise. And if you're going to try to protect your quarterback back there, you better have some hellacious blocking up front.
Yeah. Have some big guys on the line.
They sure do. Agla in the backfield, joined by, I keep forgetting this young man's name, Terry Hunter is the running back in the back, and that's who gets the ball, and he gets out of the end zone just a little bit of breathing space, picks up about 2 yards on the play. And that timeout is going to be taken by the Lane Dragon. Coach Barrows knows that this is exactly where he wants to be. Of course, you want to be up on the scoreboard, but being right here with 4:18 left to go in the fourth quarter, down by 3 by a score of 10 to 7, he's right in the thick of things, and so are we. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here and regather ourselves for the stretch run here as you're listening to Lane College Football on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. All right, big third down play coming here for the Lincoln University Blue Tigers. The Lane Dragons on the attack on defense, 3rd down and 7 at the 6-yard line. The ball is snapped. Agla goes over the middle. Is that pass complete? Tibbs is saying that he caught it. Of course, Lane is saying that he didn't. The officials have no idea.
They're going to give it to him.
And they're going to say it was a catch.
They're going to give it to him.
Wow, a lot of indecision there on the ref's face, but that is a huge pass and catch there from Agla to Tibbs, and that's been his guy all day long.
Tibbs has done an exceptional job of just catching the ball and doing his assignment. He's running his routes hard, and he did a very senior type act. He put the ball up to let him know, hey, I caught it.
Yeah, and so if the official was unsure, he's just gonna go, hey, man,
I don't have any replay.
Exactly. Agla setting his team up, setting the offense up right now. The Lane, they're looking for a turnover. They got to have a turnover. 3:28 left to go in the ball game. Agla in the shotgun, joined by Tucker in the back. Hunter in the back. Agla receives the snap, hands it to Hunter. Hunter gets yanked down in the backfield, and here comes the flag. It was borderline horse collar, and that's exactly what it looks like they're going to call.
They're going to call a horse collar here. That one is going to hurt. And Lane is in their bare front, bringing out their big guys. It's just unfortunate.
That's what I'm talking about. Bring out those football terms. Man, I was only out there for a day. All I learned was the 42 trap. That's just where I pulled. That's all I know.
There you go. There you go.
That's all I do is 42 trap. I ran it 17 times, and I sweated out. I lost 8 pounds that day.
Man, talk about the trap. I love seeing those big guys get around. You're starting to see some athletic linemen these days move, man. And it's making our game just so much more better to watch.
Yeah, I mean, bigger, faster, stronger. That's what they were preaching back when I was in high school, and it looks like it's actually taking hold now. Speaking of taking hold, that tackle, that horse collar tackle, that penalty moves the Lincoln University team up by a large nodule. And they'll be taking the ball 1st down and 10 at the 28. Ogla letting the clock run down because there's no reason to rush at this point in time with your team having the lead. He gets the snap. He hands it off to Hunter again, and Hunter is up the right side. He's picking up big yardage. He picks up about 20 yards on that play. So right now, if you're Lane's defense, what do you have to do? Is the spirit broken a little bit after they got out of the goal line situation?
Not at all. And right now, you need a lot of the players to come together and say, hey, let's stop this right now. It's a 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Let's stop them. We have to make a stop. I want to hear the linebackers, getting on a D lineman right now where no guys are tired, but you got to pick each other up.
Because you're not just playing against the team now, you're playing against the clock as well. 2:15 left to go. They're going to be milking it down all the way into the 2-minute warning. And right now, you do need a stop if you're the Dragons. And let's see, they've been getting them all day. Let's see if they can pick their offense up one more time. 2:04 left to play, and I think they're just going to let it wind on down. 1:59, let's go. Ogla in the shotgun, waiting to receive the snap. He gets it, hands it off to Hunter again, and Hunter picks up about 5 yards on the play.
And they're running a ball to the right. There's about 3 runs to the right side. So the coach must see something on that right side.
And I was just about to say, Coach Burrows has to take a timeout here because 1:37 left to play. You only got 2 left, so you have to stop the clock. We're going to go ahead and stay right here. We're not going to go anywhere. We've said so much about this defense, but these still are human beings. They're young men. They're in shape, but they have been on the field quite a bit today.
They've been on the field quite a bit, and they've also done a really good job. I can't take away from what they've done. It's been a defensive game, and, they've put the offense in position a couple of times to make something happen. And unfortunately, like I said, it just hasn't happened for them today, and I commend the defense. They've been out there, and that's why at this point of time it's important to have depth. If you have depth, you're able to rotate guys and keep the guys healthy and keep them guys energized. So that way when some guys get in, they can make some plays.
Going too deep with people you trust, you're right. That's an absolute big deal. If you don't trust this guy that's second on you're in trouble. Yep. Of course you're going to go with your starters because those are the guys that have earned their spot. But you got to have those secondary guys, the subs, be able to trust those guys as well. But the entire defense has just been unbelievable today. Let's see if they have any more magic in them. Let's see if the Dragons have any magic in them. 1:37 left to play. 2nd down and 7 to go. You got to get a stop here, and you got to call a timeout immediately. Ogla has been very, very tough today. And here he's going to hand it off to his big back again, and they do get a stop. He gets it back maybe to the original line, and I believe that was number 3. That was Franklin. They tried to go with the bruising back to try to pick up the 1st down, unable to get it. A timeout quickly called here by Coach Burrows. 1:28 left to go in the game.
And I think what his coaches are going to tell him here, man, start punching, start ripping. Start going after the ball. Hold the guy up and rip the ball out.
Yeah,
they still have a shot.
Yeah, realistically, you get a stop here on a 3rd down because that's what you got. You got to have this 3rd down stop, and then they're going to have to punt the ball. You could possibly get the ball back. I'm not good with math. We talked about that earlier. But you're going to get the ball back with a little time, but no timeouts, though. So you're going to have to move the football.
So it's a little bit of all of nothing here. If Lincoln gets a 1st down, it's probably safe to say that it's over.
Well, yeah, and you're absolutely right about the punching and trying to dislodge the football. You have to try to force a turnover here. So whatever you've got left in the tank, you go all out on this play and you try to force the turnover. And you pretty much know they're going to run the football.
Well, here it is.
Franklin in the backfield with Ogla. And I really hope that's the way I pronounce this young man's name because that's what I've been saying all day long. Ogla out of the shotgun. They're trying to get him fired up on the sideline. He's going to give it to Franklin. He's tripped up in the backfield. Huge play there by number 92, Brace McKenzie. And he has been all over the field today. A couple of sacks, and that's another tackle for a loss as the clock will wind down before we see the punt. 1:10 is on the clock right now. The Dragons will get the ball back, but with no timeouts.
And Bryce has had a really exceptional game this game. He's done so much, for this Lane's defense. He had a touchdown that was called back.
Yeah,
but he's done the dirty work, and that's what you want to see out of your D linemen.
Yeah.
Doing the dirty work. They're in the trenches, what we call it.
Through 3 quarters, the young man had 5 total tackles, 3 unassisted with 2 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Tackles for loss, 1.5 tackles for loss. So we just saw him tack on to that right there. So he is definitely having a big game. Referee throws the flag for a delay of game. Oh, they call the timeout before the delay of game. Okay, then. So 38 seconds is on the clock. 38 seconds are on the clock now. You're going to get the punt. You got to hope for a bad punt, right?
Hey, you got to hope for anything good at this point. Anything good if you're Lane. A good stop. That was a good stop by the Lane's defense.
That was great color commentary, by the way. You got to hope for anything good. That's about as simple as you can put it. You need everything good to happen right now.
At this point, Reggie, with 38 seconds, you're down 3. Only down 3.
Hey, I've seen stranger things happen, man, and I think every play-by-play guy has to have that in his arsenal. I've seen stranger things happen when you got a game like this. 10-7 is your score. Not much scoring after the first quarter of play, but you know, if you love defense, you saw a masterpiece today. Back to receive the punt for the Lane Dragons is Mr. Ahmad Isaac, the junior from Dolomite, Alabama, who has had some huge plays today. And they need another huge play to be brought out of his bag right now. And he holds it. It's a drop kick, not the best kick in the world. And that's going to go out of bounds with 28, 27, 26. All right, the clock is still running. They let about 3 seconds go on the clock before those 3 seconds matter. I'm not going to make a big deal about it right now, but the ball went out of bounds about 28 seconds.
I definitely seen 28 seconds when the ball went out of bounds, and I wish they would correct that.
Yeah, because, you know, you never know what could happen, but right now you need all the good things to happen. 25 seconds on the clock, Lane with the ball down 3. And, you know, at this point in time, if you have any trick plays, in your arsenal, this would be a good time for it. A Statue of Liberty, a fumble rooski, whatever you want to try to call. You want to try to figure it out now. Lane's offense getting set on the field now. Trips out to the right side. Reynolds out of the shotgun. He has 1 receiver on the left. Empty backfield.
The crowd is pointing to us saying, what's going on with the clock? It's not us. It's not us.
Yeah, people. It's supposed to be 29 seconds. I agree with you, young man.
Yeah.
Huh? And right now we got another timeout. We got another timeout on the field, as the Lincoln University, they don't like the way their defense is set up, so they want to go ahead and get things set up. The fans are a little rowdy now because they saw those seconds tick off the clock.
And the coaches, they're pointing to us. They're pointing to the direction of us. Everybody's a little upset with us right now because they think we control the clock.
Well, you know, everybody's a little frustrated, too. They've been watching their team on the cusp of getting those points on the board all day, so they want exactly what they're entitled. I believe it went out of bounds with about 28 or 29 seconds. So you would think 3 or 4 seconds doesn't matter if you're not a sports fan, but every sports fan knows every second matters when it comes to that clock.
You know what? I want to be escorted with security when I leave here, Reggie.
Oh, no, we're good. And they put the time back on.
There we go.
The Lane fans are standing on their feet because 8 seconds were added to the clock. So 33 seconds to play in this ball game. Let's see what Reynolds and the Lane Dragons have up their sleeve on offense. I would love to see something I haven't seen all day. But we do know that this team can score quickly. The one score that they had today was one play, 74 yards. So anything is possible. And now the clock it's 35 seconds on the clock now, so I think they're overcompensating, but okay. The officials are trying to get it right. Now it's down to 23 seconds. And, there's just a lot of confusion on the field now. Jacoby Jones with his hands open wide, wondering what's going on. And, there's not too much to say. They're just really trying to work out the kinks now. Everybody's focusing their attention on the press box. And I love how everybody's holding up their fingers. I feel like this is an extended episode of Price is Right because everybody is holding up fingers like, 34, 33. Should I go with 4? $1. $1. Okay, it's 28 seconds on the clock now. So everybody's happy, including the parents and the cheerleaders and everybody. Now we're back to football, you guys. Boy, we have seen a lot going on in this first game. Reynolds out of the shotgun. He receives the snap, drops back to pass. He's looking left the whole time. Finds his man over in the corner. That is Hampton, and he gets out of bounds. Toe touch out of bounds. And they're going to call it a catch?
Oh, my goodness. They're going to call it incomplete.
They're going to say he was not in bounds. So time to run that one back. 19 seconds left to go. It looked like a good catch.
Yeah, it looked like a great catch with a toe touch on the sideline.
They're a little closer than I am, so I'm not going to dispute it. 19 seconds left on the clock now. So decent play call. They did it to the sideline. They're trying to get out of bounds so they can stop the clock with no timeouts. But you're going to definitely have to go into your bag of tricks right now if you're Coach Burrows. Reynolds set to receive the snap, trips out wide, two to the right, three to the left. Reynolds looking to the left, nowhere to go. He decides to tuck it. He's running. He's got to get out of bounds, and that's what he does. 12 seconds, 11 seconds. And once again, they're yelling to stop the clock. I don't know who's on the clock tonight, but they're a little slow on the trigger. 11 seconds left to play in this ball game. Reynolds runs out of bounds right at the 50-yard line. And the coaches are trying to get more time put back on the clock.
It should be 13.
Should be 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
And we all know how much time matters. They're a little bit closer. The first down marker's at the 50-yard line. So Reynolds getting ready to air it out again. I don't know how good this guy's arm is, but he probably wants to pick up about 17 yards to 20 yards here to have a shot at the end zone. He dips and dodges. He throws a bullet over the middle. It's incomplete. 5 seconds on the clock now for Lane as the game is dwindling down as we speak. Now you definitely got to have some magic.
Definitely have to pull something out of the hat. It might actually be time for a Hail Mary. Only 5 seconds left to go.
I would love to see a hook and ladder here. I would love to see some kind of Statue of Liberty type play along the sideline. You got two dynamic receivers. You got Isaac and you got Hampton. I would love to see something where these guys maybe cross paths here. Here we go. Last play of the game. 5 seconds. Reynolds receives the snap. Drops back. Safety's back. Nowhere to go. Reynolds is bumped by one of his own men. He's just going to air it out. He throws a floater up to the middle. It is tipped around. It's eventually knocked down. There's an interception. And that, my friends, is the ball game. Lincoln University Blue Tigers 10. Lane College Dragons 7 in the first game of the season. What an excellent ball game we saw from two defenses. The crowd leaves a little disappointed, but they can't be disappointed in the football game that they saw today, De-Jon.
Can't be disappointed, and I love the defensive intensity, the defensive effort. You know, they didn't give up any more touchdowns after the ones they gave up. And, man, it was just a great game all around. And hats off to Lane College and Lincoln as they both came out, and it was a competitive game. And Lincoln leads here with a W.
With a W in the Bluff City kickoff. We're going to take a 2-minute break here on Fox Sports 105.3. We'll be right back with our post-game wrap-up. Stay tuned.
Bryce.
All right, so listen. Minimize.
Thank you, sir. That's right. We're back here at the press box live from Halle Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee for the Bluff City kickoff. Classic man. Reggie Walker Jr. here, joined by my boy Deshawn Mitchell. And who would have thought 9:57 into the game when Ramirez for Lincoln hit a 44-yard field goal, that would be the deciding factor in this ball game that early in the ball game, Deshawn?
I don't think anybody in the stadium thought that would be it. And, you know, we didn't get to see too many touchdowns and too many points go up, but we did see some great defensive action today, Reggie.
We sure did. If you were a fan of offense, you probably were a little turned off by today's ball game. But if you love the defense and love seeing things, and the offense was not bad. I mean, you look at some of these numbers. I'm looking at some of the final statistics. Only 9 first downs for Lane, only 11 for Lincoln, only 58 rushing yards for Lane, 65 passing yards. But the offense was not bad. The defense was just that much better on both sides.
And it came down of possession in this type of game. You know, who had the last possession? And even though Lane had the last possession, only had a couple, 33 seconds to go.
Right.
Lincoln was able to hold the ball, even in their own territory, you know, backed up. And they were able to secure this win, man. They did a good job.
Player of the game, we decided over the break, you know, if we didn't pick a player on defense, then we are doing something wrong. Player of the game for the Lane College Dragons today is going to go to Bryce McKenzie. Bryce McKenzie out of, where is he out of? Deltona, Florida. I thought you said Daytona.
Deltona.
Deltona. I didn't even know that place existed, but it does. And Bryce McKenzie is a stud from there. The 6'2", 240-pound senior was around the football day. He's one intentional grounding away from having a sack with a fumble and a touchdown. I think on the day he finished with 8 tackles, 2 sacks. Very, very impressive day for Bryce McKenzie.
He almost had a touchdown, Reggie. He almost had 6.
Almost had 6, and those 6 would have been crucial. Lane, who knows what the season holds for Lane? I know you talked about last year. You were covering a lot of the games last year. You saw there was a lot of close ball games, not able to get over that hump. A lot of similarities today, but one thing about last year, they won that first game, and then it turned into something else. Let's hope that this is an omen for things to come. They didn't get the first win, but maybe they go back in the film room, learn from these mistakes, those holes, those blocks in the back, those unsportsmanlike conducts that caused big plays to be brought back. Maybe they learn from that, and they go on a run.
Oh, yeah, Reggie. And you know what? I just want to say that was a great game played, you know, by Lane. We're just going to take this into game 2. And, man, we got a couple more games. Well, no, we got a whole season to go.
we got a whole season to go.
We got a whole season to go. So,
and hopefully you guys stay with us on 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson, because we have all your Lane home games coming up. This one was in Memphis. The next one will be in Jackson. Make sure you come out and support the Lane College Dragons. That's all we got for today. I don't think I have any more.
That's it, Reggie. That's it for me.
I'm going to go get me a big old glass of Kool-Aid.
Some wings.
It's a lemon pepper wings in a freeze cup, man.
Sounds good to
That's
me.
exactly what we're going to do. I'm in my hometown. I'm going to go holler at my mama, and we're going to have some fun. So for everybody that tuned in online and also on the airwaves, we want to thank you for joining us. Big shout out to everybody back in the studio making this happen. Our producer doing a great job keeping up with me on the breaks. Shout out to all the officials, Lane College officials, the SID department, Roger Ogden, and everybody who participated helping us get this on the air and making it work. Big shout out to my friend Mr. Thomas back at the station as well, being a liaison and keeping everything popping on this end for us. Until next week, until next time, I am Reggie Walker Jr. for my co-host and my color analyst, De-Jon Mitchell. We'll see you next time. This is 105.3 Fox Sports Jackson. This was Lane College Football. We are out.
Stay blessed.